All right, welcome to today's deadline stream. I hope you've had a wonderful Saturday so far. I certainly have. Did you get your FPL teams through in time? I did. I'm not going to show you my transfer there yet because that's a secret. But if you want to see that, you can join the Discord down below. Join the Discord, by the way. Join Discord down below and submit your teams. In an hour, we're going to do your team reviews. Does that make sense? I can't speak. I haven't warmed up yet. You know what I need? I need like an intro song, you know? I need like something... I want my own do Max Verstappen song to, you know, start the stream off. I feel so awkward clicking play and then just, we're live now. Are we? Are we not? No one knows. Alright, let me tweet out that we are live. Post in the Discord, all of that good stuff. Let's see. Anyone here already? Alright, Calendoria, afternoon. Sensen, afternoon. CB, hello. Michael, hello. Clyde, hello. Psychology Insight, morning. Adam, yo, welcome. Laura, hello. Welcome back. Michael, yep, you're here. I have my toys. I can click. Hugo, hello. Oh, Hugo, speaking of, I have added more emotes and lowered the membership cost to $1.99. I thought the base cost of 5 seemed too much. I don't have any specific member things, but I have some new emotes that I think were pretty fun. I can only add like one more. I can only have 5 until I have a couple of members, but membership price is lowered to $1.99. So if you want to support me in the channel and have some fun emotes and guarantee that I see your comments, because I do see those green names in chat more often, so don't you can look into that. Did I destroy my entire comment setup? No, I did not. FP3 full of surprises? Yes, indeed. Poor Red Bull Racing performance? True. Which team for Limitless? Oh, I'll discuss that later. I can't think. Hi from Australia. Hello. Which pair do we like more beside Norris? Russell Gasly or Piastri Colapinto? Piastri Colapinto. Hello, Prasajnit. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Still full McLaren? Oh, I don't know. This is what I was thinking, right? I was dead set on this, and then Mercedes popped up with a 1-2 in free practice. We're waiting. Finally, we're getting some FP3 simulations on F1 Fantasy Tools, so you can bet your sweet butt that we are gonna look at those later on once they drop. By the way, let me know in the chat when they drop. What do you reckon I take as my second constructor, Mercedes or Ferrari? Oh, okay. So I was pretty dead set in my team selection video that I would not take a -10 to get Ferrari in for Mercedes. Then Ferrari had a pretty good FP1 and FP2, so I was like, maybe I do take the -10. And then now Mercedes pop up with a 1-2 in free practice 3. So the answer is I don't know. I think if you have transfers, if you're wildcarding, I think you might want to go for like a Ferrari just to be different, right? To try something out, because a lot of people are sitting with McLaren, Mercedes. So if you want to be different, go for it. I don't know if it's worth -10. Literally anyone could finish P1 to P6. That is very true, Pele. Welcome everyone. Giorgio, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ferrari or Mercedes? That is the question. That is the question. I think ultimately it could be a coin toss, but I don't know if it's worth a -10 anymore because I can't tell who's the better asset, and that's a fact. I guess we will see when the simulations come out if the simulations heavily favor one over the other. Perhaps they favor both. Dare we try Mercedes Ferrari as constructor? It doesn't seem that bad. It doesn't seem that bad. Dumb question, can I just leave Sargeant in for 0 points so I don't use up a substitute? Yes. So, alright, let's talk about it. We time is it's 1 past, so the official stream time has started. I was a bit early today for once. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the inactive Logan Sargeant asset. I've added a specific emote for this, just because I feel like we use this all the time. We always say someone is the GOAT. I don't know why there's an a space there before the rain, but I guess someone else has the rain handle. I'll look into that later, but that's it for now. So the best asset of all time is Logan Sargeant. Inactive Logan Sargeant is the best asset of all time. Low goat, yep. Norris in, Piastri out from -10. Minus 10s are hefty. Minus 10s are hefty. I don't know if it's worth it. Already taking a -10 for Colapinto instead of Bottas. Just checking if you agree with due to the poor pace of the Sauber. I don't think it's ever worth taking a -10 for a C-tier asset. Do you think Colapinto is going to outscore Bottas by 10 points? I don't think so. Could Colapinto outscore them by 5, 6? Maybe. And in that case, Colapinto would rise in price, and then it would be a good transfer. But you're basically banking on Colapinto increasing in price, and I don't know if I would do that. The thing is with Franco Colapinto is that he's 4.8 million. So if that transfer from Bottas to Colapinto allows you to upgrade another asset, then I think it's worth it. Good day. Put some likes in there for the man. Yep. All right, let's talk about Logan Sargeant. Sorry if my mic did not like the clapping. Let's talk about Logan Sargeant. Logan Sargeant is inactive, but you can still make transfers while you have the inactive Logan Sargeant in your team. What does being inactive means? It means he's just going to get 0 points. I've seen some people speculate that he's going to get -5 for not setting a time in QUALI. That's not how that works. When Logan Sargeant was inactive in Australia, he did not race because Albon shunted his car and took Logan Sargeant's car. So Logan Sargeant did not get a -5 then because he did not even start in qualifying. So the way that the -5 for not setting a time in qualifying works is it only applies if you're registered to be in the qualifying. And Logan Sargeant is not registered. He's not in that. If you look at the FIA documents bot on Twitter that posts all the documents, all the official documents that the FIA releases, in that there is a qualification list of who is supposed to be in the qualifying. If you're not in there, you cannot get -5 for not setting a time. So Logan Sargeant will literally just get 0 points. Now, I've seen another group of people say, why is this good? Why do you want someone who gets 0 points? Well, you didn't pick Logan Sargeant before for the points. You picked him because he was cheap, and it allowed you to upgrade assets elsewhere. Now, these C-tier assets, if I could have an inactive Colapinto at 4.8 million alongside an inactive Logan Sargeant, I would. Granted, if Colapinto... I'm probably sticking with Colapinto for the rest of the year, by the way. I've not made the transfer yet, but I'm probably sticking with something like a Colapinto for the rest of the year. If Colapinto stays at... if Colapinto does not DNF, right? Obviously, he's better than Logan Sargeant. I think if Colapinto avoids DNFing for the rest of the season, it is an improvement on Logan Sargeant. But if Colapinto DNFs twice in the 9 races remaining, I think it's a net negative to a Logan Sargeant asset, because that's how much negative points you get for a DNF, and these C-tier assets don't get that many points. If Colapinto gets a -40 over the course of the season, do we really think Colapinto is going to get 40 points over the course of the season? I mean, let's look at Logan Sargeant. Logan Sargeant only had, 2 DNFs, right? Only 2. Race not classified in Canada, race not classified in Miami. Those are... Logan Sargeant got 2 DNFs all year, and his total season points were 8. Now, granted, that's Logan Sargeant, but what are we expecting Franco Colapinto to do? If he gets 8 points, that's good. That's as much as Logan Sargeant got the entire year. So if he gets 2 DNFs, then he's actively losing you points. So Logan Sargeant at 4.8 is a better asset than Franco Colapinto at 4.8 most of the time. Even if Colapinto just get 1 DNF for the rest of the season, I think that's reasonable to suspect. Another thing is that an inactive Logan Sargeant is not going to drop in price. He's going to stay at 4.8. So if in the future you accumulate enough budget to upgrade Logan Sargeant, the inactive Logan Sargeant, to an asset that you think will get you points, like an Alex Albon or like a Hülkenberg, now we're talking 5 million here, but if you have 5 million to spend, I think upgrading Logan Sargeant to an Hülkenberg is okay if you don't want to upgrade anything else. In that case, then you know, at least Logan Sargeant hasn't decreased in price, so he won't be at like 3 million, right, by the end of the season when you want to make that move. So there's no downside, literally zero downside to owning a Logan Sargeant asset, because you cannot afford to bring in like a George Russell that's going to get you 20 points every race. It's going to be another C-tier asset, and these C-tier assets are not scoring points and are mainly just a DNF risk. And we talked about this a lot last weekend, how the negative points that you get in F1 Fantasy are so big, the negative swings are so big that those are what end up mattering most of the time. It's the DNFs, it's the disqualifications, it's the, you know, Haas double disqualification in Monaco, double DNF. Those swings are what end up really mattering at the end of the day. And if you can just avoid that completely, God, Logan Sargeant is such a good asset right now. So whenever someone asks me about Logan Sargeant throughout the stream, I'm just gonna refer them to, you know, what, like 3 minutes into the live stream or something like that, because I'm only gonna talk about Logan Sargeant being the best asset of all time that much. Colapinto driver today incoming. I think that's an important part as well. I think Colapinto, even though we're talking about Logan Sargeant being inactive now, Colapinto is a really, really good asset at 4.8 million for the same reason that Logan Sargeant was before, only better. So when Logan Sargeant was active, I think Colapinto is just an improvement on that for two reasons. One, it's not Logan Sargeant, and two, Colapinto being a new driver and the only rookie we've had all year. We have Behrman for a race, but Colapinto being a rookie, if he has a good race, if Colapinto's 9th, right? Williams look fast. That's not impossible. It could happen. If Colapinto gets points, I think he gets driver of the day. So exactly, Ollie Behrman won driver of the day for an 8th place in a Ferrari. So if Colapinto gets 10th in a Williams, when Logan Sargeant did not score points all year, I do think that is enough for a driver of the day. Especially if Max or Lando wins. I think if like a Leclerc wins, then maybe he gets it, just because it's the Tifosi, it's Monza. But Lando Norris has really dropped in popularity after he started winning. Like really, I see a lot more Lando Norris hates online, and those voices, I know it's just babble online, because like Lando Norris hasn't changed who he is as a person. He just said simply lovely when he won the race last weekend. But now that Lando Norris is in the rocket ship of a car, people are going to treat Lando Norris like they did Max Verstappen. So I don't think Lando Norris is driver of the day material. I mean, he is, but say if Lando Norris wins by 20 seconds, do you think he gets driver of the day again, like he did last weekend? I don't know. Sargeant for driver of the day, I mean, he is at least our F1 fantasy asset of the day. Let's see. I feel like people in Argentina are also very passionate about their own people, so Colapinto could get a ton of votes regardless of his performance. True. One thing to note, though, is that although the driver of the day is a fan vote, if it is mostly trolls voting, then the F1 does step in and remove it. Latifi would have definitely won driver of the day in Canada 2 years ago, but he didn't, because literally everyone voted for Nicholas Latifi in Canada for driver of the day, even though he had a horrid race and he did not win it. So the F1 do remove some votes. So if Colapinto DNFs, I don't think he's getting driver of the day, even if Argentina are passionate. I have 3 free transfers. I dropped Magnussen, Snowden, and Ocon for Russell, Albon, and Colapinto. That is the biggest upside you could ever get. My God, that is so good. Who cares about Magnussen, Sonoda, and Ocon when you can get Russell points? And, you know, like Albon is probably equal to Sonoda. Colapinto is just a cheap asset. What time is QUALI? It is in 1 hour and 50 minutes. 1 hour and 50 minutes. Also, welcome back, First Cut. Did I miss something during my rant? I don't think so. I don't think I did. Again, I'm not used to reading chats while yapping, so... Triple McLaren still good for this race? I think so, but I don't know. Again, I haven't made the transfers. This is just what I was planning on making. But this would use both of my transfers to get Lando Norris in over Lewis Hamilton. Do I even want that when Lewis Hamilton is... we're waiting for this. So if you haven't checked out F1 Fantasy Tools before, that is really, really awkward. I don't tell my girlfriend, but my Google is showing me things. I really hope she's not in here right now. That's really funny. Google targeted ads is exposing birthday presents. I don't think that's okay. So this is post FP2. We're waiting for the post FP3. Stewards on Leclerc penalty. We'll see. I didn't see it. Just if she shows up, don't tell her, okay? No snitches. Don't spoil birthday presents. This is a full-on traffic light of colors, by the way. So version 2 much better, yes, but I'm not logged in, so we're just using this for now. I know the version 2 is way better, and you should definitely check out version 2. But I've not switched to version 2 on my laptop, on my PC yet, just because I just want to have this in here. Also, it has Sargeant. Is that the... Oh, you can... Oh yeah, it's auto boxed, but you can add Logan Sargeant in there. So if you have access to Logan Sargeant, let's check the calculations for... Alright, so they are preferring Colapinto over Sargeant, which makes sense. And the FP2 calculations show that the triple McLaren is still strong. I am running sort of this, but it's just a question of, do I switch here? What's my budget, by the way? I have budget checks in chat. What are we working with today? Also, I'm so scared of clicking X on Logan Sargeant because I'm scared he'll be gone forever. 121.6 is mine. 121.6. Nice. Thanks, Racer. The F1 app is saying QUALI is in 47 minutes. Is that true? No. Have I boomed it? I think that's incorrect. Is that not just the like broadcast? No, it's in 1 hour 45 minutes. It's in 1 hour 45 minutes. 126.2. Aye. 125. Yep. So I think the broadcast starts in that much time. So many choices. Will you take the two B-tier drivers or Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, and then the two opposing constructors? Which way would you pick? I think you are better off. Okay, this is actually a really interesting question. So there's a lot of choices where you take 2B driver from Mercedes, Ferrari, and then the two opposing constructors. I think you stand to gain more by tripling down on something. Because if they do well, you are going to shoot in rank. And I think that's what I'm doing this week. So I think I'm sticking to the triple McLaren no matter what the things say. But we'll see. The Pinto Sarge combo works. The Pinto Sarge combo works way too well, is what I would say. Rate Man United's transfer window. I guess solid 6, 7 out of 10. 120 on the dot. Nice. Ferrari versus Merc, which will score more? Your thoughts? I don't know. That is the how are let's look at F1 fantasy tools, and let's go to race results. Jesus Christ, stop showing me this. Stop seeing this ad. Not interested. All right, there we go. Before presents get spoiled. I'm never searching for presents again on this on this computer. Let's see. So if we look at McLaren, no, Mercedes. I want to sort by fastest. Can I sort by? Oh yeah, fastest pit stop. Let's see. Boop, boop. Fastest pit stop. So let's look at fastest pit stop for Mercedes. Mercedes has not been that great, whereas Ferrari have been notably better. It's amazing how much better Red Bull is than everyone else at this. V-Carb has been good recently. McLaren has also gotten a few. But Mercedes has been second fastest twice. So in terms of Mercedes versus Ferrari, just because we don't know how their drivers are going to perform and it looks super even out on track, I think Ferrari edges it just because of this. But again, I don't think it's worth a -10. Go all in and hope for the best rather than play it safe. I kind of like it. Yes. So I think that's what you should be doing if you want to gain rank. If you're playing safe, if you're like top 100 and you want to stay there, I don't think you do it. But that's another thing. One thing I know is Hamilton is back to looking good in free practice and then bottling it in quali. That is very true. That is very, very true. Triple McLaren and Ferrari plus fodder for the others for a -10. It depends on what you're taking out, NK. It's 100% because that's sort of what I'm doing, right? I'm very likely to do this. I'm keeping Albon over Gasly because Williams actually look decently fast and Alpine look tragic here in Monza. So I would add Norris, I would add Colapinto, and these would be my 2 free transfers. And then it's whether or not I upgrade Mercedes for a -10. Is it worth a -10? I don't know if it is. Mercedes or Ferrari, Mercedes or Ferrari. I think they look very even. I think Ferrari probably outscore Mercedes, but it's not by a lot. And is it going to be worth a -10? Because think of it this way, all right? Next race is Baku, or Baku, Azerbaijan. You do want high. I feel like Monza and Baku, Monza and Azerbaijan are very similar in terms of like there are tight corners where you need low speed corners, and then there are straights where you do 320 kilometers an hour. So if Ferrari are good here, will they also be good in Azerbaijan? So if you do the -10 now, it's not something that you would want to switch back in the future. The question is, Ferrari capable of overtaking the Mercedes in case of a poor qualifying? That is also a great question. Norris as first driver, then who do I pick between Hamilton, Piastri, and Leclerc? That's another question. I think I think wildcarding this weekend is really, really, really powerful. So those of you in a wildcard can choose freely, and I don't envy your vast amount of choices. I think I would probably bet on Leclerc because that feels like the biggest differential. Like, if Leclerc does well, then the least people will have him. Now, I don't know if that's actually true for the pick rate. It is not, but I feel like these are inactive teams. Am I wrong? Like, 49% of people have Alex Albon, and I feel like Alex Albon just recently became a good asset. I feel like this is, like, 40% of people have Max Verstappen. Really? This is 40% of inactive teams. I don't know any active manager that has Max Verstappen. So, I wouldn't look into this too much. I wish there wasn't, like, an EO, effective ownership. If anyone knows of an effective ownership website, by the way, yeah, I hate those. Those are zombie teams. True. If there's an effective ownership website that states like the ownership around your specific rank, I would love to see that because I would love to know what the Charles Leclerc EO is. So if you're in a wild card, I think I would choose Lando Norris plus Leclerc, but I'm not wasting a transfer to change Piastri to Leclerc. I feel like spending -10s for sideways moves such as Piastri, especially in drivers, right? So taking a -10 to upgrade Mercedes to Ferrari might be worth it. Why? Well, because the amount of points that a constructor gets every weekend. Let's go back here, right? So let's just check. Let's add all of this back in. Look at the amount of points the constructors get every weekend. We're talking B2 constructors. Just look at Ferrari versus Mercedes. Let's do this, right? Ferrari versus Mercedes. So this is what usually happens. Even in races where they are relatively close. I mean, this was not close, but that was an anomaly. 20 points. Very, very close. Very, very close. 10 points. 11 points. This is what? 22 points. 20 points. So in a 20-point difference, if there's a 20-point difference, then obviously it's worth it taking the -10 hit. But then if we look at these, so let's look at Piastri, Hamilton, and Leclerc, because they're a similar price point. How often do these assets differ by 10 points? So let's look from where Hamilton and Mercedes got good, right? Piastri got a 12-pointer here, but like Miami, 11 points, like 13 points is the biggest shift. Then we have 8 points. Then Leclerc won in Monaco, so he, that was a 25 point swing between the highest and the lowest. Then, I mean, this was just an anomaly because DNF. Then we have Spain, which is what? Hamilton was the highest scorer with 14 more points than the lowest scorer. Then Piastri won, so that's a bit of an anomaly, but and Leclerc was bad. Even here, kind of an anomaly. Hamilton won, so like if you get the person winning, then obviously the -10 is worth it. But can you predict that? Did you predict that Piastri was going to do really, really well in Austria? Did you predict that he was going to win in Hungary? Did you predict that Hamilton was going to win in Silverstone? So unless you can predict which one of these three is going to win a race, it's going to be like Imola, like the Dutch Grand Prix last weekend. It's literally just 6 points between them. So I don't think it's ever worth taking a -10 to shift sideways among the drivers. It could be worth it with the constructors. Autopilot might be a thing. Autopilot is always a thing. Mercedes better asset going forward into Baku. Are you sure? I'm not sure. -10 for Ferrari over Mercedes worth it. That's what we're discussing right now. I think final fix, by the way, Piastri and Charles. So final fix is definitely active in races like this where it's even. So I would definitely make sure that you have money in the bank so that in case a final fix opportunity from Oscar Piastri to someone else pops up. But we'll see. I could do the -10. I've not taken a single hit this season so far. This would be my first ever hit. But I also feel like with my luck, if I take a -10 to remove Mercedes to Ferrari, then Mercedes are going to 1-2 the race. Ferrari is going to double DNF in Monza. Leclerc and Sainz collide into turn 1. So I just don't trust the -10. And I don't know who's going to be better in Baku. I don't. I really, really don't. All right, we have 211 people in here. My God, already, and we're still an hour and a half away from the deadline. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, we only have 27 likes on the stream. There's 200 of you in here. We can definitely get that to 50. Definitely get that to 50. I'm going to do all your team reviews, or not all of them. I'm very sorry for saying all. I'm going to do some team reviews. So if you have a submission that you want to submit, go to the Discord link in the description, join the Discord. In the team submissions channel, you can post your team there. You can only do like one post per 2 hours, so you can't spam that. You can only do one post. I cannot get to all of them. There were like 50 last weekend. But I will sort of scroll through them and see if there are different points. So even if I don't do your specific team, a lot of your questions might be answered. A lot of your questions might be answered through someone else's team. So don't get too upset if I don't do yours. But if you have specific conundrums about your team that you want me to answer, drop them in the team submissions channel in the Discord. We're going to do those at around 3 p.m. So in like 30 minutes or so. We're also waiting. So when the FP3 simulations drop, though, that's like the main thing we're going to be looking at. I need to remove this quickly. Boom. Once the FP3 simulations drop, that's the main thing we're going to be looking at. Because I'm really curious after the Hamilton-Russell 1-2 in FP3 what Arthur has to say about the optimal teams. Because right now it's saying this, and like this is sort of what I'm going with. And this is only 218, so I'm gonna have. Oh yeah, I have Sargeant in here. Don't forget, if you have Sargeant, by the way, you can't buy Sargeant anymore. But if you already have him, you keep him, and you just gotta unbox him down here. I'm not using the V2 yet. I'm sticking with the V1 for now. So let's recalculate and show the Sargeants in here. Nope, no Sargeant. They say that Bottas is going to be better than Sargeant, which I get. I think that's incorrect. I think Sargeant is way better than Bottas. So I'm just gonna do this to force them to put Sargeant in here. Oh wait, did I just F5 did. I shouldn't have. I should click recalculate. There we go. 121.6. Recalculate. Alright, forcing Sargeant to be in here. They say Bottas is better than Colapinto. I heavily disagree. This is closer to what I'm going to be running. But I'm going to be running triple. I'm almost certainly running triple Williams this race. They will not hand out penalty for free practice. I think that's valid. I don't think they... Potential penalty on Leclerc? I don't think so. Running with both Sargeant and Colapinto is a legit strat. Yeah, so if you're just joined, if you're one of the 100 people who joined recently, if you want to hear my thoughts about Logan Sargeant specifically being an inactive asset, just, you know, go back in the stream to like 2 minutes past 2 Central Eastern Standard Time. So, well, like 5 minutes into the stream, I have a like 5-minute segment where I speak of why Logan Sargeant is so unbelievably powerful. Go check that and then come back to the live stream. I promise you won't miss too much. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but Sargeant is amazing as an asset, as an inactive asset, and I'm almost ready to do this. By the way, I'm almost ready. All right, free practice is always just a slap on the wrist, a fine at most. Chill out. Yep, I don't think we are expecting any penalties from free practice. So we won't get penalized for running Sargeant? Nope. It's literally just a 0-pointer. Which is better. Your gift surprise is definitely going to be spoiled at this rate. Well, yes, I know. I know. I just gotta tell my girlfriend to not pop into the stream. It's really funny. Alright. 48 likes. We can get 2 more. We can get 2 more. MS Paint. Alright, thank you so much, Michael, for the super chat. The MS Paint is about to come out, I promise. Actually, I usually save the Rain Fantasy #1 tip. But I mean, why not? Rain Fantasy #1 tip of the week. I need a little jingle. I don't think this is gonna come to anyone. I don't think this is gonna be a surprise. Which website is this? That's really funny. MS Paint tip of the day. Paint time. It's paint time. Okay, so normally I save this until like 30 minutes before QUALI, but I feel pretty safe to say that the tip of the week is Sargeant plus Cole. Why did I do that? Sargeant plus Cole, as in Colapinto, equals broken, because it is. Let's see. It is broken. This combo is not okay and should not be allowed. But if you have that combo or have the possibility to run this combo, I think you should. Fraser with the super chat. Did my team submission in Paint just for you? Pain. Nice. I can't wait to review it. Thanks for all the tip and your knowledge. Thank you for hanging out, rookie. The GOAT. Yep. It's Sargeant. Yeah, so tip of the week is definitely Sargeant plus Colapinto. If you don't have Sargeant, I feel very sorry for you that you can't run this exploit. But even if you don't have Sargeant, just buy Colapinto. Just buy Cole. Why should you buy Colapinto? Because he's super cheap. If he does well, he's a driver of the day contender. And he is the same asset as Sargeant was, but better. Doesn't Sargeant get negative points if they won't qualify start? No, go back to the start of the stream, like 5 minutes into the stream. I have an entire segment about Sargeant. He is just getting 0 points every weekend. Cole Stonks only go up. Yeah, what's this ownership at, actually? Colapinto ownership is at 3%. So 3% of managers, of strategists, have picked Colapinto already, which is really, really cool. I'm super excited to see what this ends up being once the deadline is over. Why is there a question mark there? Do you see that? Oh, because we don't know his number. I was so confused what that question mark was. So 3% already. I'm almost certain I'm buying Colapinto. I don't think anyone can change my mind on buying Colapinto for this race. 57 likes. Thank you so much, guys. I've also lowered the price on membership, so if you want to use the emotes in the chat, if you want your messages to be highlighted for me so that I am more likely to see them without paying for super chats, the memberships now are only $1.99 and will stay that way for a long time. I don't think I'm chasing. Why Albon over Hulk? Because I don't have Hulkenberg and I'm not spending -10 to shift it. So this is my team. So I'm selling either Albon or Gasly. And I prefer Albon over Gasly, both for price and for points this weekend. I think the Alpine looks genuinely horrid. So I am probably selling Gasly to Colapinto and then just buying Norris. Ferrari or Mercedes, we've discussed that a lot. The answer is I don't know. We're waiting on the simulations to see what they prefer. And I don't think it's worth doing side transfers among your drivers, so Piastri to Leclerc, things like that for a -10. For the constructor, it could be a different story, but I don't know yet. 119.3 budget tips. Go to the team calculator on F1 Fantasy Tools, input 119.3 into the current budget. If there's an asset that you really want to have, such as Logan Sargeant, you can box that in here. Use the version 2, it's better, but I'm using version 1 just to show you. And it will spit out what they think is the best team for you. I have 2x on Piastri. Should I change Norris or leave it as is? I think you change it to Norris. That doesn't cost a change, by the way, Jaman. So I think you just swap it. If you have Norris, I think you put the 2x on him. Russell Lando or Russell Piastri or Lando Piastri or Piastri Charles? I think Lando Piastri. I think the all-in on McLaren looks the best. Should I go for Ferrari constructor or Merc driver or Merc constructor and Ferrari driver? That is really close. I don't know. I think I would prefer Mercedes constructor plus Leclerc driver. Because at this point, when you're comparing things that are that even, such as like Ferrari constructor, let's say the Ferrari constructor and the Mercedes constructor get the same points, then you're looking at which driver is the most likely to get driver of the day. And I think out of those other Mercedes and Ferrari drivers, I think the most likely to get driver of the day is Leclerc on a podium finish, right? I think Leclerc P2 or maybe even P3 could take driver of the day just because it's Monza. So for that reason and that reason alone, I prefer Mercedes constructor plus Ferrari driver over the opposite, because the Ferrari constructor don't get the points for Leclerc getting driver of the day. Is Tsunoda a good asset for this weekend? No, I don't think so. I think most data has shown that RB is really slow here. Yeah, this is the Arthur Sims waiting room. This is definitely the Arthur Sims waiting room. Once those FP3 simulations drop, spam the chat. Reese, do you think Piastri will do better than Hamilton or Ross? Just McLaren. I'm just biased with McLaren. Well, I mean, McLaren has been better recently, so Piastri or Leclerc? I think that's really close. I think probably Leclerc, but I wouldn't use a -10 to switch it. If you're on a wild card, I would pick Leclerc over Piastri, but I would not make a transfer for it. I would definitely make sure I get Norris in, I get Colapinto in, I take out bad drivers. McLaren seems so slow in FP1, 2, and 3. McLaren is never top of the free practice standings, and then they're 20 seconds ahead in the race. So Hamilton or Charles? I think out of Charles, Lewis, and Oscar, I do think I prefer Leclerc just for this race alone, simply for the driver of the day, the slightly increased driver of the day possibility. Say Verstappen or Norris wins, and no one likes Verstappen or Norris, and then you have Piastri second, Leclerc third, and Colapinto's nowhere to be seen in the points, then I think Leclerc has a chance to take driver of the day over Piastri in second. Like that. So when I'm evaluating driver of the day, because it's such a fan voted system, I'm looking, okay, what are the popular drivers in the fandom? And I'm not talking about our niche F1 fantasy fandom. I'm talking about, those that go and vote for the driver of the day, which is mostly casual fans, right? So I actually look into and make sure I follow fan accounts just to see how much what the hype is like. And Norris has been getting a lot of negative press after him. People think he has a big ego now after only winning twice. So Norris is definitely decreasing in popularity. So I think even with a Norris win, I don't think he's guaranteed to get driver of the day, especially not if he wins by 20 seconds again. So I think in that case, you got to look at the other drivers. So say we have Hamilton and Leclerc, and you have Hamilton in second, Leclerc in third. Does Hamilton take driver of the day over Leclerc in third? Maybe because of Monza, maybe. But I think if you have Piastri second, McLaren is by far the fastest team, and then you have Leclerc in third, I do think Leclerc takes driver of the day over someone like Piastri if Norris doesn't get it. So that's what I'm looking into when I evaluate who is the most likely to get driver of the day, because I guess there is an art to it. Tsunoda, Magnussen, or maybe Gasly. I think Tsunoda and Gasly look bad, so it's definitely Magnussen from those three. If Colapinto gets driver of the day, what's the expected rise? Driver of the day was the expected rise. Okay, so driver of the day would be 10 points. For Colapinto to be in the running for driver of the day, he would probably have to be in the points. So let's say Colapinto gets 10th and gets driver of the day. That's 11. Maybe he qualified, so maybe it's 12. Maybe he gets 13 or 14 points and gets driver with driver of the day. Maybe some overtakes, actually, because it's Monza. What would the average point scoring be? It depends on DNFs as well. He would have to be more than 1.5 times the... K-Mag died in FP3. Mag had that problem at the end of... he did have that problem at the end of P3. I forgot about that. I still would prefer Magnussen. I was scared about Hülkenberg last weekend. So if Colapinto does get driver of the day, it is not impossible for him to rise a million. But I think most likely he just rises 0.5 million. He would have to be above 15 points to rise a million, to have a chance of rising a million. Tsunoda, Gasly, or Hülkenberg? Definitely Hülkenberg. So with Tsunoda, I've seen a lot of data suggesting that the RBs are just not there in any point of this weekend, and same with the Alpine. So I really would prefer to avoid Alpine and RB this weekend specifically. So I prefer Hülkenberg. I prefer Albon over Tsunoda and Gasly. She sells seashells on the seashore. She might. Toma, is it worth -10 to get out of Tsunoda? Maybe for Hülkenberg or Albon? Again, no. Right? So, go to the points, race results. Look at Tsunoda with what? Hülkenberg and Albon. Albon here. Hülkenberg here. How often in a non-sprint race... Let's remove all the sprint points. In a non-sprint race, how often do the C-tier assets outscore each other by 10? Hülkenberg has done it, but these are outliers. I feel like these are more commonly the scores that he gets, the 6 to 10 points when he gets points. And again, can you predict that? I thought Hülkenberg would do numbers in Belgium, but he got 2 points. So I would never use a -10 to just change sideways among the C tiers. Russell or Sainz? That's a good question. I think I prefer Sainz just because Ferrari might be good. But then again, Russell's cheaper. So that's really close, Elaine. I actually don't know. It's one of those... When it comes to the drivers, I would only do -10 to upgrade sort of a level, to go from one of the lesser B tiers, which is like Russell Sainz, up to something like a Piastri or Leclerc, or a going from a B tier up to a Norris. But switching between, like, if you say you have Russell, do you take a -10 to bring Sainz in? Probably not. Is that your priority transfer with one of your free transfers? Also probably not. So, I mean, yeah, look at Sainz scores in single race weekend, 28-17. I mean, when Russell does not DNF, right? 10 points difference here. You have 7 points difference here. This was Russell's win, and that's only a, 14 points difference. 11 points difference here in Spain. Then you have DNFs, so you can't really compare it. Then you have 7 points. Then you have 6 points. So, like, when you look at specifically Sainz v Russell, there's like no difference whatsoever. So you definitely don't do -10s between Russell and Sainz. But if you ask which one I prefer, if you're on a wildcard, because I know a lot of you are on wildcards today, I think probably Sainz. But it also depends on your other assets. But with Colapinto Sargeant combos, then yeah. And by the way, the tip of the day is the Sargeant plus Colapinto combo is broken. If you don't have Sargeant, just buy Colapinto. Both are fantastic assets. Yeah. I think someone is crashing this quality race. I think so too. That wouldn't surprise me, Joseph. Wouldn't surprise me. For those, for sort of big questions that includes your entire team like this, leave them in the Discord in the team submissions channel, because I get dizzy reading all the comments that are like this. All right, let's see here. Gumby budget quite low. Do you reckon it's worth utilizing Sargeant Compilling and using 2 B tier drivers like Russell Sainz, or just go Lando? I think it's definitely worth going Russell's plus Sainz over Lando. Definitely. If Colapinto gets 15 plus points more than one time, it might be 1.5 million. No, it needs to be 3 times to be 1.5. No? Am I wrong? Let's go to my own channel. Because I'm actually not sure. Videos. Let's scroll all the way back. Team value. I don't have the. Oh, I guess we're watching an ad on my own channel now. You know, gotta make bank. Gotta make that money. Gotta pay rent. Also, remember when I had this beard? Atrocious. Why didn't no one warn me? So, oh my god. I guess we're watching another ad. But yeah, I mean, this video gives you all the information you need to know about how many points I need to get. Also, I hate it when you cannot skip ads. Please God, I don't even have a car. Oh my God. So this is how you guys feel when you get ads, huh? Alright, here we go. So, for a C tier asset, they need to get 1.5 times the points. Okay, you are correct. No, it's 3 times the points. Normalized. Yeah. So, Colapinto needs to get 3 times the average score. Yeah, okay, so yeah, if Colapinto gets 15 plus points, he could get 1.5 million. Okay, yeah, you're correct. I wasn't familiar with your game. Alright, so if Colapinto on like 10 plus points is increasing by 1 million. Because the average points is usually in a single week, like 6 or 7. So he needs to get 3 times. And actually, no, if it's 7 points, he needs to get 3 times that. So he needs to be up at like 20 points. Because there's no way the average point score is going to be 5 unless there's like 6 or 7 DNFs. So, yeah. Sims out. Oh, baby. It's time. Infinite money to make YouTube videos and then watch your ads on your own channel. It's not infinite money. It's reporting watching ads on own videos against TOS. Thank you so much for the super chat, Fraser. Don't report me, please. I promise that was not my intention. Let's see. Let's go to Team Calculator. Update. This is perfect. We can look at this. I can take a short break, and then we'll do your team submissions once we know what the simulations say. All right. Get some hype down in the chat for the simulations. The simulations are out. I'm waiting patiently. Get some hype in the chat for the simulations on F1 Fantasy Tools. The website is crashing. Everyone is checking them out. No one knows what to do. All right, here. Post FP3. 121. I'm gonna check my budget first, and then we can look at your guys' budget then. I am going to do this. I'm actually just gonna remove Sargeant first, and then I'm gonna do it with Sargeant forced. Version 2 is not crashing. Version 3 is working for me now. Website starts responding. Yep, but I mean, everyone's checking, so it makes sense. I'm just gonna do it with Sargeant unblocked for now, but make sure you X him out if it's not an option. Okay, so we still have they've actually switched away from triple McLaren. Okay, if you remember the post FP2, this was Piastri. Now it's Leclerc. That is very, very interesting. I don't think that's changing what I'm doing with my team. The simulations are preferring having an asset that's getting points over Sargeant. I think that's incorrect. I'm gonna force Sargeant and Colapinto in here and recalculate once more. And I mean, this is exactly the team I'm looking to run. It's looking good for budget. It is preferring the Leclerc version. But it's only by like a point, so it's not a lot. Can you check with 120 and 117 including Sargeant? You can do so yourself. Just go to F1 Fantasy Tools and click the team calculator. So it is not force. So like, what if I do this without Colapinto and force Sargeant in there? It's gonna say that it's worth it to have someone like a Bottas. I think that's widely incorrect. I don't know where they got this data from. But I don't trust that at all. So always take the simulations with a grain of salt. They are simulations for a reason. But personally, I will force Colapinto and Sargeant in there just to see what's accurate for my team. And they are saying Ferrari over Merc. What if... Okay, so how much... they are still saying McLaren plus Ferrari. They're not saying Ferrari plus McLaren, which is interesting. They're saying Ferrari over Mercedes, despite Mercedes being strong in having a strong showing in FP3. Let's look at, if we force Mercedes in there, how do the points change? So we're looking at this exact thing, only with Mercedes instead of Ferrari. So if we force Mercedes in there and recalculate once more, it decreased by only like what, 4 points over and it still said, it didn't say McLaren. It didn't say Ferrari Mercedes. It still said McLaren Ferrari. McLaren Mercedes. No Red Bull assets in sight, even with Colapinto plus Sargeant, which I'm a bit surprised by. I was expecting once we added Colapinto and Sargeant to the mix as a combination, we would see some Red Bull things, but that just shows how bad Red Bull are right now. Please do 103.9 with Sargeant and Colapinto. Do so yourself, Mr. Potter. You have the access. The website's free. Website's free. Colapinto will definitely fall in value. Don't be so sure. He could, but like, I'm using him for how cheap he is. I'm confused. Didn't Hamilton and Russell top the timetables in FP3? Yes, but these simulate race pace. They don't care about one lap pace. Actually, they do for the quality simulations, but apparently Mercedes' long run pace wasn't that good. How do you force them in? You just... oh, do you not see that on the stream? Yeah, okay, so... No, you do see it. So basically, if you scroll down, I'm on version 1 still. If you scroll down and just like box this in, if you X, you remove them. So say if I do not want Sargeant in here at all, and I want Colapinto, and I know I'm going to be running Mercedes over Ferrari, I can do that, recalculate, and then it gives me the best option according to those parameters. So my question then is, how worth it? All right, so let's try one without Colapinto. The thing is, if I don't do Colapinto, I can't get Lando Norris in, right? I'm 1.5 million short, so I have to like downgrade one asset. If I downgrade this to Nico, I still cannot afford Lando. And the only other thing I can downgrade Gasly to is either a Sauber asset or Colapinto. And I would much rather have Colapinto over any of the Saubers. So that's just why I'm doing this, right? But now comes the question, is the -10 to get... won't we get in trouble by keeping Logan? Nope. go back to 5 minutes into this live stream and I talk about that for like 5 minutes. Is Mag FP3 performance worrying? I don't think so. I don't think it's worrying. It's showing me no valid teams. What does that mean? I don't know. I've never had that. Maybe the budget is too low. Maybe you've booked something that you can't, like, it's not possible to build a team with the budget. So let's add Sargeant back in there. Now, this is skewed to add Colapinto and Sargeant, but like the simulations are preferring a Sauber asset over Sargeant. I think that's factually incorrect. Hit the X next to Logan. You had both tick and the X. Oh, maybe. But here we go. If I select Sargeant that's causing the issue, I tried with and without. Maybe if you have like both this and this, it won't work. So with this, it is calculating Ferrari to outscore Mercedes by like 5 points. So is Albon better than Hulk this weekend? I don't know. Apparently yes, because it's at the top. Because the budget allows me to afford Hulkenberg. So the simulations prefer Albon over Hulkenberg, which is interesting. Yeah, they don't take into account the driver today possibility of Colapinto, hence Bottas recommended. That makes sense. Albon looks better than Hulk this weekend according to the simulations. So I... Do I do the -10? Okay, so I'm almost certain. I'm just gonna do the... Okay, I've never done an early transfer. I've been a chicken for literally half a year on these deadline streams, not making my transfer until like 10 minutes before. I'm so certain that I'm doing Lando Norris and Colapinto in for Hamilton and Gasly that I'm doing it now. I don't even care. And now I'm chickening out. I'm I'm doing it. I'm okay. For literally the first time ever, I'm making a change in F1 fantasy earlier than an hour before. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm so certain that this is what I'm doing. I want Lando Norris back in. I ran without him with one race and I instantly regretted it. I think Lando Norris is gonna challenge Max Verstappen every race. Boom. I did it. Boom. I did it. I made an early transfer. Jesus. There is a 5% Thursday chance on Colapinto in The Sims. Never mind. Thank you for the information. Well, there is on everyone, right? These simulations don't have into account possible DNF, so maybe that's why they prefer Sauber drivers. Plus 1.2 while Sargeant 0. Maybe. No, with your luck, they're gonna pull out in 20 minutes with the mechanic issues. Hey, if that's the case, I don't care. No love for Ferrari. That's the thing. So I've made the transfers. I've used my free transfers. Do I do this for a -10? Do I do this for a -10? The simulations prefer Ferrari over Mercedes, but it's not by much. Lose 10 points for Ferrari or keep Mercedes. I think it's close to do it. So the only other time where I've considered a -10, it was a mistake not to do it. They do take into account DNFs. Nice. Leclerc and Mercedes versus Piastri and Ferrari. Ooh, probably Leclerc and Mercedes. The simulations really like Leclerc, and I think Leclerc does have, some merit. There's some merit to it. He's lost like 1 position at the start. I think it's a waste of a transfer. You probably switch back next race. I'm not so sure I switch back next race, because if I go for Ferrari, expecting Ferrari to be good in Monza, I'm also expecting Ferrari to be good in Azerbaijan. If it wasn't a -10, would you switch to Ferrari? Yes. Yes, I would. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth a -10. It could be, but it also could not be, you know? I have something on my screen. I'm just removing it. Oop. Like physically on my screen. Not worth it to take a -10, swapping Mercedes and Ferrari, really close weekend. This is the biggest question. This is actually the biggest question. Okay, I haven't done a poll yet, so let's make a poll, okay? What to should I take my first -10 hit of the season? Ferrari with a -10 versus Mercedes. Start poll. All right. I want to see what you guys think about this because I'm unsure. Granted, last weekend I listened to you guys and it was a disaster. So maybe take a break while we vote. That is a very good idea, Hugo. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go piss. And once I get back, we'll look at the poll, the results for that, and also begin going through some of your team submissions. So stick around. Even if I don't get to your specific team submissions, we will definitely talk about everything that should be a reasonable discussion. So even if I don't get to your team submission specifically, I think you'll get a lot of insight just hearing me talk about other teams that look similar. So I'm gonna run a quick ad so you don't get an ad break later. All right, we're back. We are back. All right, let's check the poll. Just join. What's the consensus? The consensus is that Logan Sargeant and Colapinto are a broken combination. We don't know if we should transfer in Ferrari for a -10. Let's check the poll with 86 votes. 66% is saying Mercedes over Ferrari for a -10. That's a pretty solid result in favor of Mercedes. So Ferrari better than Mercedes Piastri, and would you take -10 or use a wild card? Would you take a -10 or use the wild card? I really like the wild card. If there's ever a weekend to use the wild card, this is it. You get Colapinto in there. You can structure your team however you want. I think the wild card is very, very, very powerful here. It's really difficult to decide on team this week. It's so equal now. Autopilot. I think wildcard is best to use here. Autopilot is always viable this late in the season when you have two. So, yeah. Fraser, we're at like 63 likes. I think you need to update the stream. But thank you for pushing everyone. make sure to like the stream. We have 200 people in here, only 63 likes, so we can definitely get to 200. I'm gonna start looking at your team submissions now on Discord. If you have missed it, down in the Discord is down in the description is the link to my Discord channel. In the team's submissions channel, that's where I will take suggestions from. So let's see here. Let's open Discord. And let's go to team submissions. Bring this over here. Let's check it so everything is fine. Something like that. I'm showing names here, by the way. So, for today, let's do Calendori because he's always early and always makes nice little graphics. I do enjoy that. Calendori, current team, 3 transfers available, 118.3 million budgets. Out, Russell Tsunoda in Norris Colapinto, carry 1 transfer. Out, Russell Tsunoda, Albon Mercedes. In Norris Colapinto, Bottas Ferrari, minus 10 points due. Now, this is where I don't think the 10 points is worth it, because Albon actually looks really strong. He looks like one of the best C-tier assets. So I don't think option B is worth it. I understand that to afford upgrading Mercedes to Ferrari, you need to downgrade Albon. I don't think the minus 10 is worth it. I think Albon plus Mercedes is better. So I prefer option A, carrying 1 transfer. I know that's the exact same team I'm going with, but I think that team is pretty strong. Let's say, yeah, is Ferrari looking better than Merc, we think? I think yes, but not significantly. Do any of these changes make sense, says Bomtia? Or do you have another suggestion? Budget of 117.3 million. So starter team, you're running RB, so I'm assuming you're lower on budget. Norris plus Hamilton. Switching a minus 10 to get Norris Sainz. I definitely enjoy going to a Mercedes over an RB. I think having 2 premium constructors is always a must. What was the difference between those 2 teams? Oh, it was just you have Sainz or Russell, essentially. Yeah, Sainz or Russell. Yeah, yeah. Maybe you were the one who asked the question before if I prefer Sainz to Russell. I actually prefer Sainz. So I think you do go for Sainz. Because you can always final fix Russell in through Sainz. And if you want to final fix someone else, you do it through Norris. So in this case, it's worth taking a minus 10 because you're upgrading RB. Laura, first team, budget of 119, swapped out Tsunoda for Colapinto, K-Mag for Russell. Would have liked to have started, but didn't get him in time. Unlucky. So what do we have here? Budget 122, change Tsunoda to Colapinto, Mercedes Ferrari. Also change, just tweak it. But I mean, these teams look perfectly fine, right? I'm not a massive fan of Pierre Gasly, but you know, when you don't have Sargeant, you don't have Sargeant. And here where you have Sargeant, you can afford a better team. So I think I would, with 5.5 million in the bank, I probably prefer to have Norris in here as the DRS boosted driver. He looks the best. I do like Leclerc over both Hamilton and Piastri. Those 3 assets aside. But then again, taking minus 10s is not... I don't know if you have wildcards available, Laura, but wildcard could be worth it for both teams, actually. If you've already made moves to taking Colapinto in. So I don't hate wildcarding here to sort of change Pierre Gasly because he looks like a bad C-tier asset for this weekend specifically. And then for here, I really like the Ferrari McLaren. I really like having 2 premium drivers with the triple Williams. But with the 5.5 million in the bank, I think this could be like a Norris Leclerc to capitalize on Ferrari's apparent success. I think a lot of people have similar questions. So let's see if there's something... most of these... So immediately, looking at NMOS, 5 different options. The only team not taking a minus 10 is Norris, Russell, and McLaren and Mercedes. So if you look at this, right, what is the odd man out? You're taking minus 20s or minus 10s to bring Ferrari in here while you have Bottas. I think Albon plus Mercedes is better than Bottas plus Ferrari. So I think this is a no-brainer. I think you go for this one. You don't take a hit, you don't risk it, and you don't run Valtteri Bottas. I see that as a win-win. Here we have Valtteri Bottas in every team. No Sargeant available. We are switching Colapintos here. What are we selling? We're selling Albons. I don't agree with selling Albon. I think Albon looks stronger than Nico. And definitely stronger than Bottas. But you might not gain anything from selling Bottas to Colapinto. You might not have enough to do the transfers you want. Going without McLaren doesn't look very strong. I think you should have Norris. So I think this team looks pretty strong. But my team now, you're getting Norris in there, Gasly out for... I would have Albon over someone like Colapinto. So I don't hate doing this, ignoring Colapinto, and then maybe getting Colapinto for Bottas next weekend, and then upgrading something. So maybe like you do this now, get Norris, Russell, McLaren, Mercedes, they look strong. Then next weekend, you have an option to switch out Bottas for Colapinto to get rid of the Sauber assets once and for all. And then you have a bunch of money in the bank that you can upgrade either Alex Albon to something else if Williams looks bad again, upgrade Hülkenberg, upgrade Mercedes to Ferrari still looks strong, upgrading Russell to Sainz. So I think, although I would prefer a team here with, like, you had Albon Colapinto, or you had someone other than Albon, like a Magnussen Colapinto. Based on what you have, I quite like this team. So I would go for that one. Going in on Ferrari this weekend, nice. I like that. Is Ferrari looking good? Yes. Current team, I feel like I'm cooked here. Is there any way can I still salvage this? Yeah, this looks pretty cooked, I'm going to be honest. I can't see how many transfers you have. I'm going to presume 2. I can finally see Fraser's MS Paint. This is so funny. I mean, the team is not super cooked. Well, okay, so you definitely just sell Kevin Magnussen for Colapinto. That saves you what, 8 million in the bank, and then you can you can't really upgrade Yuki yet. I would like to get this to a 2B lineup or 2 premium driver lineup, but I don't know how you do that. Kevin Magnussen to Colapinto. You don't have Sargeant. Oh, this team would love a Logan Sargeant Colapinto double up. I don't know what you do here. You're probably keeping Valtteri Bottas. You can't really afford to focus on that. How do you get to... I mean, the obvious solution is getting to Russell, right? So you're selling Magnussen Tsunoda. Can you afford Russell Colapinto with that? No, you cannot, right? So you need to downgrade something else. You need to downgrade a Nico to Albon. That's a -10 that would be worth it, but I don't know if that's enough. Yuki, Magnussen, so what's Russell? 20.8 million. I don't have the mental math to do this, but if you have enough, I would prioritize with this team, Chris. I would prioritize getting to a 2 premium driver lineup. Now, if you can afford, I cannot do mental math for the life of me right now. If Yuki, Nico, Kevin can go to Albon, Colapinto, Russell, I think you do that. If you don't have enough money to afford that, I think you just say screw Lando Norris and just hope that he doesn't do what he did last week. And you keep Nico, you sell Lando, Yuki, Kevin for Colapinto, Russell, and then like a Leclerc for a DRS boost. So you might have to downgrade Norris, because I would prefer say we compare Lando, Yuki versus Piastri, Leclerc, or Leclerc, Russell. I prefer the 2B lineup every day. And it's only really worth it if Lando does a monster haul like he did last weekend. And it's not guaranteed that he's going to do that again. Is Wildcard worth it this weekend? Yes, Wildcard is really, really good. By the way, if you guys have Wildcards, let me know, because that is really something that you should be doing this weekend in particular. Let's do another 5 minutes of this. Done in MS Paint just for you. Thank you so much. All right, so we have this. I hate this. I hate this. Tsunoda to Albon, -10. Next week to this will probably cost me this week, but can get the team I want next race. You do a -10 to go here. Oh, okay. I would say no. I don't think it's worth -10 to switch Tsunoda to Albon. And I think I said that before. So I would keep this team, and then next week I just get this team. Right? Because you have 2 free transfers next week. So I think you keep team 1 and you don't go to team 2. But I appreciate the MS Paint effort. Alright, I've talked a lot. Let's see if there's anything that looks different. I think go for this. That looks perfectly fine. I don't like Gasly, but That's okay. Generally don't know what else I could do. First photo is current. Next would be an option to take -10, sitting at 115.5 million. It looks really strong. I think -10 to get to the 2B lineup is perfectly fine. And I think it's the one -10 that's always worth it. If you're on a single A to go to a 2B. Let's see. There's a lot of similar looking teams here. Here we have some Carlos Sainz, Oscar Piastri, both with either Sainz or Leclerc with FF budget. Albon one is -20, the other one with Bottas -10. Will not go with Sarge. Well, I just instantly prefer the -10 then. Yes, you could upgrade Bottas to Albon, but again, Albon is not going to outscore Bottas by 10 points, and if he does, unlucky you. -10 for Colapinto or show to avoid -10. I don't know what that means, Jaman, unfortunately, so I can't answer that. Oh, we made it to the bottom. Interesting. Again, sorry if I skipped your team, but I think most things look very similar. What do we think of this? It looks really strong. I hate showing you, but not much you can do. If you already made transfers, then yes. Otherwise, I would upgrade showing you to Alex Albon. Saves me -10 following race, taking it now. Okay, sure. Do what you want, Fraser. Thank you again for the super chat. All right, sorry. Wait, I just noticed I have 3 moves. Oh my god. Wait. There we go. Just got there with the main talking points. The main talking points is the Rain Fantasy tip of the week. Sargeant plus Colapinto is broken. Colapinto looks like a really strong buy. I think this combination is definitely game breaking. Should not be allowed. That is the tip of the week. The other main talking point is Mercedes versus Ferrari. Which one should we have? I think the answer, if you're on a wildcard, is Ferrari. The simulations prefer that. But if you are like me and you're sitting with Mercedes right now, is it worth a -10 to take Ferrari in? And I don't think it is, but it's close. I love that you hate the pain, sharing the pain. Yes, it was awful, but I loved it. What would be my best bet to increase my budget? Currently 100.8 million. So you've just started the game, I assume, because you're 100.8 million. Right now, to the end of the season, budget gains is not important. Because the reason why budget is important is so that you build your budget so that you later on can gain more points with the budget you've gained. But now there is no later on you can regain the points. So for 100 million, I think you just go to... I think you just go here. If you have Sargeant, great. If not, unlucky. So for 100 million, you just go for a single B lineup. You just go for Ferrari plus Mercedes. Both are budget building options because they're B tiers. And then you pick Leclerc, Piastri, or Russell, or Hamilton. And then you just add the cheapest possible drivers in there. So something like this is what you kind of have to run. I would probably prefer something like this because you run less... if you specifically want budget building, you probably run something like this. You probably pick Russell because he's the cheapest. You hope he has an amazing race, and you don't have to run all of the bad Sauber assets. So you definitely get 2 premium constructors. You just we'll go for 1 premium driver, 1 of the B tiers, and then yeah, that's the team for 100 million. What do you think about Tsunoda? I don't think Tsunoda's that great of an option here because he hasn't looked great. Bortoleto is the GOAT. What did Bortoleto do? Did he win something? What did I miss? I'm not watching if something happened in F2. Or is Red Bull to Ferrari worth a -10? P22 to P8. Woo! Sick. Is he taking the Sauber seats next to Nico? Thoughts on Alpine versus Williams for Constructor alongside McLaren? I really dislike the C-tier Constructor assets because you get so... the amount of points you get from the premium Constructors is so valuable. I always prefer Mercedes, Ferrari over something like a C-tier Constructor. There hasn't been a good C-tier Constructor option since Aston Martin was a C-tier. Is Bortoleto versus Bottas for the seat apparently? Yeah, I saw that as well. What happened to K-Mag? Is he going to start the quality? I think he's going to start. We don't know what happened to K-Mag, but I don't think it's serious. Why Albon? Most likely he would get high qualifying position. More likely it would decrease. Well, he did really well last race. If he had not been disqualified, he would have had a fantastic result. So I think Albon will not decrease that much because the Williams top speed is pretty mental. He's going to be a train conductor. He has had really good races in Monza before. So I think Albon looks really strong here. What combination out of McLaren, Mercedes, or Ferrari? Let's see. McLaren for Merc or Ferrari. I mean, you have McLaren +1, basically. McLaren +1. All right. That is most of the team submissions. Thank you so much. Again, I'm really, really sorry if I didn't get to your team specifically. But I hope I discussed most of the things that you were wondering about anyway. Now, for this next part of the stream, I thought we would briefly... what was I thinking about? So, I'm very surprised. I was going to talk about Red Bull. I'm very surprised that Red Bull is not in any calculations. The constructor specifically. Like, the Red Bull constructor gets points. Right? They get points. And for them to not even be in the running, even with Colapinto plus Sargeant, is very, very surprising. And I'm curious if we'll see Red Bull be even viable at all for the rest of the season. One interesting point, I've already begun thinking about next year, right? With the announcement of Kimi Antonelli, I saw some speculation of what his price might be. And with that, I started thinking about next year and where I think the assets are going to land. Now that we know how the price change algorithm works, I think we will all approach the team building for the start of next season very, very differently. And we're all looking for those drivers that are under their breakpoints. So if Kimi Antonelli would come in at 14 million, for example, instant buy in my team, right? If Red Bull Racing, if McLaren end up, outscoring them by the end of the season, constructor-wise, we could see a Red Bull Racing be a B-tier asset at the start of the season, maybe at a cheeky 24 million. That would also be an instant pick for my team. So I'm very excited for next year, and we'll see where the prices land. I think the game in terms of prices this year has been really, really good. I think the price changes are a bit extreme for some assets. I think the C tier increase, I feel like it should be more on a gradual scale, because like either increasing 0.5 or losing 0.1 is pretty drastic. Points per million Red Bull not worth. That is true. They score points, but not enough for how expensive they are. And likewise, I don't think Max Verstappen is going to be worth it at 31.4 million. And I mean, the 40% of people that have him must be dead teams. Is Sargeant technically Colapinto on F1 Tools? No. So on F1 Fantasy Tools, there are separate options. So you have to just... Sargeant comes in the simulations X'd out by default. But if you have access to Sargeant, and if you have Sargeant in your team, you definitely don't sell him. You keep him. If you have Sargeant in your team, you're just gonna mark it down here, and then you can recalculate. So if you have Sargeant plus Colapinto in your team at 100 million, you can build McLaren Ferrari teams, which is pretty interesting. They look on a slump. Still, they keep getting 50 plus points every week. Yep. I have no reason not to go with triple McLaren this week, honestly. Same. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going triple McLaren, guaranteed. I've already made my transfers, actually. So I've made my transfers. Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, McLaren in there. And triple Williams drivers, which is really, really funny. I'm just ironing out whether I should do this. But I think the answer is no. Consideration, taking Norris Leclerc with Mercedes McLaren, then based on quality positions, final fix in Piastri for Leclerc depending on who is in front, viable? Maybe, but I wouldn't want to use final fix if it's just for a couple of points. Hamilton versus Piastri. Even with Hamilton topping free practice, Hamilton topped free practice last weekend and then went out in Q2. So I don't know if I trust Hamilton. He's been pretty bad in qualifying. But then again, he gets 20 points from doing overtakes in the race. So I probably prefer Piastri. 2x Norris or Leclerc. If you have Norris, you 2x Norris. I don't think you ever have Norris in your team and don't 2x him. Is it worth taking -10 to get triple McLaren and Merc out for Ferrari? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing triple McLaren in, and I'm probably not doing the -10. I'm probably sticking with Mercedes. Albon or Gasly? Definitely Albon. Let's talk about the C tiers. Let's go to Canva. Let's go to Canva. We have some old stuff in here, which is fun. But, which is better? Nope. Alright, my phone is going off. I don't know what's happening. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Goal in the Arsenal game. Goal in the Arsenal game. So, let's talk about C tiers. C tier. Oh no, we have this. I just gotta see. I'm so ready for everything here. Where's my Italian flag? See, I could be doing this instead of doing paint, but MS Paint is too funny to not do. So C tiers in Italy. We need. Oh, I don't have Colapinto. I haven't added Colapinto. I'm not ready. Let's just do a text that says call. And change it to like what, red? Oh, blue. What is a good color that is visible? I guess red. All right. Let's just group these. All right. So this is Colapinto. So let's rank the C tier assets. So Logan Sargeant is clearly the best C tier asset in the game, and it's not even close. I think Alex Albon looks really strong here. And I also think Colapinto looks really strong here. So I think the Williams boys are at the top. Lance Stroll is no longer a C tier asset. He's useless. We have... remember when I thought Shogun Yu was a good C tier asset? Good times. So the sub boys are clearly, and I mean clearly, the worst. I think Ocon isn't that good either with his price point. I think Gasly is probably better than Ricciardo just because of him being cheaper. And then I prefer Hulkenberg to Magnussen also because of the price point. I think this is the C tier asset for Monza, or C tier tier list for Monza, I suppose. Put a bottle of Coca-Cola instead. I could do that. Oh, but I need to add assets anyway, so yeah. So there we go. Yeah, that's my C tier list. Oscar, Leclerc, or Hamilton. I prefer Leclerc, but only if you're on a what's it called? Wildcard, or if you have free transfers available and you don't need to, take Colapinto or something, because I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth doing the transfer. Or doing a -10, let's see some more questions. How does this team sound? What team? Maybe Gasly over Tsunoda? Yeah, probably Gasly over Tsunoda. It's close. I think this entire line looks just... If I were to bet, right, we're betting on people increasing in price. I mean, Sargeant is obviously not increasing in price. I think Albon could definitely increase in price here. I don't think that's impossible. And then we are looking at the Haas boys always have a solid chance to increase in price, right? The Haas boys definitely have a chance to increase in price. Then you look at these guys. I don't think any of the subbers are increasing. And then out of these four, at most 2 of them. But I think it's more likely to be like 1. So, yeah. So thoughts on the 2 strong constructors, McLaren, Mercedes, and then 1 A-tier driver and 4 C tiers. It depends on the C tiers, right? It depends on your budget, really. So I'm assuming, since you're asking and what you asked before, Megan, that you're on a lower budget. And in that case, then yes. The A tier could be Norris, but if you can afford to go for like Russell Sainz, I prefer Russell Sainz over Norris plus a C tier. So I always prefer the 2-2, you know. But yeah, Norris Russell or Piastri Leclerc. I think Norris Russell. I think Norris is the best asset for the DRS boost. So we just gotta respect that. Yeah, 116.5. What can you fit with 116.5? It's not impossible. Do you have access to Sargeant? Because if you have access to Sargeant, you can do this. Now, if you don't have access to Sargeant, it's still this. Okay, so with 116.5, I don't see why you shouldn't try this and just throw away your C tiers, basically. Actually, like this. I don't know why Bottas is preferred over Albon. That doesn't... Oh, it's because Leclerc. Oh, yeah. Okay, so... I mean, either this, or if you want to run Leclerc Russell, you can run Albon. I think it's time to get rid of assets like the assets like Magnussen, like Ocon, like Tsunoda. They are good because they have a chance of increasing in price, giving you a higher budget. But right now, towards the end of the season, you don't care about your budget as much. You care about the points. Because what the increase in budget is supposed to do is give you, to give you more points later on, if that makes sense. So you're supposed to get more points later. But you can't get more points later with a higher budget. Yeah, all right. No Sargeant option? Yeah, then it's this. With 116.5, you can still afford a good 2B lineup. I think it's time, if you have a wildcard, you build something like this. Whoop. You build something like this. Look at some data. Ferrari looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Ferrari does look pretty good. But, again, do they look better than Mercedes with a -10 there? And the answer is I don't know. So yeah. Let's see. All right. Any more questions? We have 30 minutes left. I've never been this like well prepared and just had so much time remaining. This is probably the calmest I've been. Even though there's a lot of things, and I'm still torn whether I should do the Mercedes to Ferrari. Norris Piastri, Norris Hamilton. I prefer Norris Leclerc, to be honest. But Norris Piastri. Have you locked in your team? I've made 2 transfers, but I haven't locked in my team. So it's 30 minutes until the deadline. I've made the transfers of Gasly out for Colapinto and Hamilton out for Norris. The question is whether I take a -10 to go from Mercedes to Ferrari. And I don't know. It's because you locked in so early, so you don't have the panic. I actually, yeah, it's 100% that because I don't have the panic. So, but I mean, I was sticking around. I'm watching the qualifying, chilling, answering some questions. Why not Hulk over Albon for your team? Well, because I wouldn't do a -10, and I actually prefer Albon this week. So. Like, if I had a wild card and had infinite transfers, then yeah, I mean, maybe I would go for that. But again, I can't. I'm definitely not taking a -10 to take Albon out. Norris Piastri, Norris Leclerc. I feel like I answered that just recently, but maybe it wasn't you who asked that. Yeah, so I prefer Norris Leclerc for this race specifically, only because of the simulations. But it's very close, and I wouldn't do a -10 to. Like, I would never sell Piastri to Leclerc for a -10. Like that would never happen. I think getting Ferrari might be worth it. 66% of people disagree with you, but it could be worth it. And that's the thing, like, it could definitely be worth it, but I do not know. And do I really want to play with fire? Do I want to take a -10 only for Sainz to DNF and then it's not worth it? Like, one DNF removes that, right? So we got to look at it in 2 ways. Okay, so I haven't discussed this really, right? So yes, Ferrari look likely to get more points than Mercedes, but it's not looking like there's a lot, right? It's a small difference. The calculations in F1 Fantasy Tools speculate about 5. Usually that would equate to about double after the simulations, because like if they get more points in the qualifying, they also get more points in the race, you know. So even if it's a 10-point difference, right, that would even it out. Maybe one increases more in price than the other. But even then, a single DNF for either team would increase or reduce that massively. And I mean massively. So that's where I'm thinking like, oh, it's not worth it, because like it's not worth to do the transfer, because one DNF on Sainz makes the transfer awful. One DNF on Russell, you see what I'm saying? It just feels worse. Do I put Piastri or Leclerc? Ooh, probably Leclerc actually. I feel like I would be different if I could. I trust Mercedes to get 2 drivers in the top 5, Ferrari to get 2 drivers in the top 5. Oh, you trust Mercedes to get 2 drivers in top 5 rather than Ferrari to get 2 drivers in top 5. That makes sense. You inspired me. I locked in early and I felt the panic leave me. That is true. Locking in early does leave you with less panic. Maybe that's what we should do all weekend. But I feel strangely calm. I've never been this calm before. But that's okay. That is okay. I'm just checking updates on Twitter to see if anything's popping up that would jeopardize the calm and increase the panic. Because that's definitely possible. Let's see here. All right. Nothing new on Twitter that's cause for reason to panic that I can see, at least. Let me know if you guys see something, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Man, time is dragging for qualifying to start. That's true. That's true. I'll just keep taking questions from chat. Ferrari will bottle one of their drivers. That is not impossible. Mattia Binotto is in the house, so he could definitely spook people. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just checking stuff. That's okay. With my transfers, I can have Norris, Piastri, Mercedes, Russell, Leclerc, Ferrari. Thoughts? Looks great. Really like that. I feel like the logoed freedom on my side now that I've locked in my team. Yep. Rain, can I have some team help with my team in the Discord? Sure. Why not? Parzival, I'm cooked. You're cookied. You're not cookied. This looks fine. What's the problem? Do you have 2 free transfers? You've already used 1 to get... have you used your transfers to get Colapinto in? No, Sargeant. Unlucky, but that's just how it is sometimes. I don't see any cookies here. I think you're fine. McLaren, Mercedes, you're good. If you have 2 free transfers, like actually have 2 free transfers, I would maybe sell Hamilton for Leclerc. But I think you look fine. You have probably the best C-tier asset you can afford with that team. I think it's something to be worth adding that, like, maybe not now because Albon looked good. One thing you could do is run Russell over someone like Hamilton, like a cheaper B-tier asset in Russell, and that could maybe give you enough to upgrade Bottas to Hülkenberg. So that's something you could do. I don't think you can with the budget you have right now, but you know, it's fine. I have a -10 I've used already. Oh, you've already used it? I think you look fine. Killer, no idea what you shafted last week. Thanks a lot, Rain. My team was also shafted, okay? We were not alone in this. Currently sitting 121 million, similar to me. Thinking of getting rid of Russell, Tsunoda for Norris, Colapinto, or changing Mercedes, Tsunoda for Ferrari, Hulkenberg. I think Russell, Tsunoda, Norris, Colapinto. Yeah. I don't know if you have 2 or 3 transfers, Killer, but I would probably do Russell, Tsunoda to Colapinto, Norris. Looks stunning, right? Looks fine. Do you see Ferrari or Mercedes being stronger this weekend? Okay, my gut says Ferrari stronger, but I don't know if it's enough to make a transfer. But maybe just because my gut is saying so, I should be doing it. What do we have? Are people adding? Look at my team. Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I'm skipping teams. I'm really sorry if I'm skipping teams. Locked in. People are locking in their teams. You love to see it. Yeah, sorry, Killen, for skipping a team. I do skip things sometimes. But yeah, I really like the switch from. I think Tsunoda looks bad this weekend anyway, so I think it looks great. 2 times to Norris or Leclerc. If you have Norris, you 2 times Norris for sure. That is definitely what you do. Leclerc higher chance for driver of the day than Piastri? Yes, I think if Norris wins and people don't give driver of the day to Norris, and Colapinto doesn't get it because he's outside of the points, and then you have Leclerc 3rd, Piastri 2nd, I do think Leclerc takes driver of the day over Piastri, which is the only reason why I'm preferring Leclerc over Piastri, by the way, because I think, like, in a position where Leclerc is behind Piastri, I think Leclerc can even take driver of the day over Piastri. Risk negative points for not swapping Sargeant? No, you don't. If you have Sargeant, you keep him 100%. He's the best asset in the game. It's not even close. You don't get any negatives. It's just 0. Albon over Hulk? For this weekend, yes. For this weekend, yes. I think this is the C tier. This is my C tier list in Italy. Hold up, I have a separate. I forgot to change that. I have this. Hey, there we go. I can just. I'm just gonna add. So A, actually, S, B, and C tier. So this is my C tier list. You can't see the C behind the chat box, but there we go. I think this is the definitive C tier list for Imola. Imola? Oh, Monza. What am I saying? And I don't think that's super controversial of a pick. The reason why I think Albon is stronger than Hulk is simply because the Williams have crazy straight line speed. Albon looked good in free practice both days, and I think he could definitely pop out with a P8 again like he did last weekend without getting disqualified, and then just stay there and increase in price. So I trust Albon. Let's go back here. What else? Question: -10 to get Leclerc, Colapinto, or keep Show and get Russell? Ooh, Lando plus Ferrari, McLaren, rest. That's interesting. Leclerc, Colapinto, or Russell? Leclerc, Colapinto -10, or Russell Show? I think -10 is worth it there. I think Show is so bad. I think Colapinto is more likely to increase in price over Show, and then Leclerc is probably better than Russell by a couple of points. So I think it's worth switching. Barely though. Piastri or Hamilton, Russell? I prefer Piastri. Lando plus Hamilton or Lando plus Leclerc? Lando plus Leclerc. -10 for switch to Mercury or Ferrari. Yes, no. That's what we've been discussing all stream, Yogi Bear. All stream we've been discussing that, and I still don't know the correct answer. I'm leaning 60% towards no. No, that's okay, Yogi. That's okay. There's a reason why it's been asked 1,000 times, because it's a really good question and no one knows the answer to it. I'm leaning like when we asked the stream, I did a poll and it was like 66% of people said Mercedes was better. I think it's actually closer to like probably 60-40 in Mercedes' favor, maybe even closer. I cannot make up my mind what to do about it, and I might just rip it. Wildcard's really strong. Let's talk about. Oh, we haven't talked about chips. I saw someone ask about Limitless like at the start of the stream, so I'm very sorry if you're still here and you didn't hear it, and you can't hear this, but if you still have the Limitless and you want to use it here, I think you do McLaren, Ferrari, and I think you do McLaren, Ferrari, Hamilton. I think you skip out on Max Verstappen, which is crazy. Final fix. I can't answer final fix questions until after qualifying, but I'm watching qualifying live, so if you want to have me on in the background and watch along with me, see my reactions to what happens in quali, you can be so, because if something interesting happens, I will discuss final fix after qualifying. That's like the final discussion I have before I end the stream. I will talk about final fix if there's something I see that's final fixable. One thing that you can prepare for with final fix, you can prepare for final fix by having money in the bank or assets that are available to switch. So, for example, I can switch Lando Norris to anyone that's not Max Verstappen or Oscar Piastri. I can switch Oscar Piastri to something else as well. So, I have Sargeant. He makes -20 or 0. 0. Sargeant is the best asset in the game right now, Andres Eduardo Gonzalez Sanabria. Keep Logan Sargeant. He's going to get 0 points. He's not going to get negatives. So you're fine. He's not going to decrease in price. He's staying at 0. Dawson, McLaren, Mercedes, Norris, Russell, Albon, Show, Colapinto, Sargeant. Looks fine. I have the same team as you on the screen, except Haas instead of Mercedes started game at Monaco. I think it's not bad, but I would prefer, like, if you're here and you have Haas, right? I think it's better to do this, have Mercedes or Ferrari, and then have Hulkenberg there, because you get so many more points from constructors. So I think if you switch this, you will be fine. Always prioritize your constructors over your drivers in terms of spending money. When Sargeant will be out of the game, it doesn't look like he will be, which is crazy. So right now he's just here. If something happens to it, subscribe to the channel. So and I will let you know. Sorry for the low energy. I'm just not panicking. I feel pretty. I still haven't decided if I'm selling Mercedes or Ferrari, but that is the final question. I've made my other transfers. I'm rocking triple McLaren, triple Williams. So will Sargeant be out of the game or will remain the whole season? We don't know. But I'm assuming he will be inactive for the rest of the season. But you can't buy him. You can only have him if you still have him, which is crazy. I feel like they should force a transfer on you, realistically. I feel like that should be punishment for running a driver that is at risk of being fired. Would you go for Ferrari in your case if you still had your wildcard? Yes. If I was wildcarding today, I would have Ferrari in there. That's cheating. Yep. Logan Sargeant is a cheat code. Like, he's literally the best asset in the game. And it's not even close. To take a -20 to get McLaren Ferrari with Leclerc Russell to get rid of C2 constructors. -20 is crazy. I would say probably not. Maybe it is worth it, but how much do the good constructors outscore the C tiers? They do kind of outscore them by 20. Yeah. All right. So look at Megan. Look at Stanford. Even if you get the wrong constructor. Granted, there were no DNFs here. They still outscore by more than 20 points. So the answer is yes. Yes, Megan. Just Ferrari or also Leclerc? I would also have Leclerc over Piastri if I had wildcard. If I was wildcarding with my exact budget, I would have this team. Would I have this for something else? No, I can't afford Kevin. So it would actually be Albon here. It would be Albon or Hulk. But it would be this. This would be my team if I was wildcarding. But I'm not going to spend minus 10s to get... I'm definitely not spending a minus 10 to get Leclerc over Piastri. Never. In a million years. But I might do it for a Ferrari. I tried it, won't save. You can't keep Sargeant. That's incorrect. I've already saved. I've literally saved my team with Sargeant in it. So, that's wrong. Consider it done? Yep. Bottas or show? Show if you need money in the bank. Bottas if you don't want to get -3 every weekend. Thanks, mate. I go for it. Good luck. I think this is a really good time to use your wildcard. To be fair, fantastic time to use your wildcard. It's the best chip to use this weekend. If a wildcard 2x driver, does the 2x go to the new driver? You can just. Do you mean the final fix? Because you can just switch this. So. But if you final fix Lando Norris into a Charles Leclerc, then it would be final fix. Yes, if you final fix a DRS boosted driver, it does switch, and that's the most powerful use of the final fix. Why keep Sargeant? I discussed this earlier in the stream, at the start of the stream actually, but you have Logan Sargeant and Colapinto not for the points, but for how cheap they are, so you can afford the drivers that actually bring you the points. So Logan Sargeant is just going to get 0 points. He's not going to get any negatives. He's inactive. In total, this season, he has 2 DNFs, right? He only has 2 DNFs. 1 in Miami and 1 in Canada. Those are his only DNFs all season. He still only has 8 points. So how many points are we expecting Colapinto to get? While also being a risk to get minus points for a DNF. So the answer to why I keep Logan Sargeant is he is a guaranteed asset that's going to get 0 points every weekend with no DNF risk. Do you think next circuits are better for Ferrari or Mercedes? If we're expecting Ferrari to be strong in Monza, I think we should expect them to be strong in Azerbaijan as well. But I don't know Singapore. I feel like Singapore high heat works for Ferrari better, but the slow corners work better for Merc. But maybe they work better for Ferrari because Ferrari can run like Monaco setups. So maybe it is Monaco. Maybe it is Ferrari. I'm leaning more and more. It's just 10 minutes left to the deadline. Do I do the -10? Do I actually? All right. There's 150 people left in here. Let's do another poll. Ferrari in for -10. Yes or no? Simple answer. The panic is setting in. Okay, Canadori, if you're still here, the panic left me and then the panic's back. Don't do it. You're only thinking because you want to do something. True. 142 people, only 70k. I think we're higher than that. We're at 80 likes. You know, it's not 100, but it's not bad. I'll take it. If Colapinto finishes the race, he probably get a 0.5 increase. If he gets 6 or 7 points, then he will increase. If he just finishes the race in 18th, I don't think he's increasing in price. I think there's a minimum though. I don't think he can go lower than 4 million. I guess there is a case for not having Colapinto in case if you think he's going to decrease in price and then buy him later. But I have to I've already bought him. So Colapinto's Bottas or show? Colapinto. I fear Mercedes DNF because of issues. Hot seats. KM, you are tempting me with doing something. Okay. 65% say no. Okay. I trusted the chat last time. It was awful, but I think I'm sticking with this. Russell, Piastri, Leclerc. Leclerc. Charles Leclerc. I should put the. We should go to the F1 dashboard. Set it up. Go to dashboard. Let's fix the setup. I don't remember how we were running this last time. I still want to have this. So is it? No. Could do that, but I want to have this. But I want to see the entire screen. Can I do that? I don't want to. Hold on. Let me copy. F1 dashboard. And let's do this and this. Oops. No, not like that. That. Let's do this all the way over here. Okay, so something like this, and we gotta make it a bit smaller. All right, so how do we structure everything now? I think something. We'll just make the comment bigger. We can delete this. Remove the logo from there. Just have a large comment here. Have the chat upright. Actually, we can switch this and make the chat bigger so you can actually read all the comments. Something like this, and then we'll just make this way smaller. Something like that, maybe. I think this is a decent setup. Apparently, FIA is watching for the front wing of Mercedes. KM, stop it. Stop it. Too much flexibility. Stop it. Oh, they're getting disqualified. KM, show me proof of this, and I'm doing the transfer right now. Alright, by the way, stick around. We're gonna watch the qualifying. That's what I'm setting up for. So if you don't have anywhere to be, don't leave. We're gonna discuss final fix after the qualifying. And right now we're just gonna, vibe. Let's go to the F1 broadcast. Go to qualifying. And then watch live. There we go. Let's do this and just pin it there so I can always see it. Yeah, I don't think you can hear the thing. All right, that's good. That's good. Gotta sign off. I took a plunge on Ferrari -10. Great stream. Thank you so much for being here, NK. The host on Canal Plus were in front of a Mercedes box and was saying that. Ooh. Okay. I know I just want to make something happen. We're 4 minutes until the deadline. Do we do this? I'm doing it when everyone's leaving the stream, which is really funny. Mercedes or Ferrari? I don't know. I don't know. Do I just take the -10? I've been saying all stream that I think Ferrari is going to outperform Mercedes. I'm just updating here. You're tempting me over to the dark side, KM. Alright? You're evil. Evil. I'm going with my stats. Do it. I did. Oh my god. It is what it is if they score less. Okay. All stream I've been saying no, it's not worth it. But I've also all stream been saying that I think Ferrari's going to outscore Mercedes. And if I think Ferrari's going to outscore Mercedes, what are the odds they're going to outscore them by 3? What if you take the -10 and get Merc at a 1-2? I took out Lando Norris and Lando Norris got destroyed me. Then you'll be kicking yourself. Are the simulations says it's not worth it? Yes, but the simulations always like value constructors weirdly. So I don't think I can look at that too much. It's looking like it's 5 points. Go Leclerc instead of Piastri, that's definitely not worth a -10. No way. I'm not doing that. But thank you for the suggestion. Do not blame me, please. I want it to work for all of us. I'm going to blame you, KM. That 3 minutes. Okay. It's the fact that it's a -10. Listen to your gut. You always regret when you did it in the past. When the only other time I've been calculating a -10 hit, I should have done it. It would have given me 20 points and an increase in budget. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? I did it. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, I did it. I don't know what I just clicked it, okay? I just clicked it. I just clicked it, okay? I just clicked it. Oh my god. I. What have I done? Okay. 1 minute's deadline. Okay, is everything correct? Okay, 2x on Lando Norris. I have Ferrari in there now for some reason. What have I done? It's gonna be fine. Okay, I can actually root for Ferrari now. Alright, where's my Ferrari shirt? Hold on. I need to find Ferrari merch. I have it somewhere. There's definitely Ferrari merch. Somewhere. Be right back, I'm finding Ferrari merch. Oh, why did I do that? I just clicked it. I actually just clicked. I didn't even think about it. I just clicked it. There's got to be some Ferrari merch somewhere. Where are... I know I have Ferrari merch somewhere. I got a rep now that I've made a terrible mistake. A fatal error. I'm blaming you, KM. I'm blaming you. This is all your fault. I can't find my Ferrari merch. It's cooked. It's cooked. Oh my god. Alright. Where's I cannot find for the life of me I cannot find my Ferrari merch. It's not in the wash, it's not in my it's somewhere, who cares? Jesus. Oh, that's so bad. It's fine. Okay. Listen. You know what's gonna happen? Not every swing in this game can be 40 points, okay? For once, let's just have the points, like the difference in points, be like 12. You know, it was a small shift, nothing major. Ferrari outscores Mercedes by 12 points. It wasn't a big deal. And not everything can hit me like a freight train, okay? Not everything can hit me like a freight train. Alright, where's the thing? I need to pause it. This thing is way too fast. This thing is way ahead. Oh my god. Ferrari outscored Mercedes by 11 points. I just want that, okay? I just want that. Listen, I just want that. I hope it's not gonna be my last stream. Wow, just join. How did this happen? what did I do? I got scared, okay? They were talking to... Oh my god, they were talking about the Mercedes front wing being flexy, and I got scared for a DQ. I've been boomed by DQs this year, man. Never lock in early again. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I forgot to start it again. Wait. Oops, that's not correct. Let's do... Wait. It's like 31. Yeah, okay, so now mine's synced now. Let's go to this screen. Never lock early again. Yikes. Why did I do that? That's okay. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a big swing. It's not gonna be a big swing. By the way, anything happened to the PS for the... No, it was just practice, so nothing happened. That's usually how it goes. That's usually how it goes. All right. Well, we're watching Leclerc on track. We're watching Leclerc on track. Someone clip that. Not gonna be a big thing. Dude, if Ferrari double DNF now, I'm actually deleting my channel. There's no way. But I mean, that is probably what is going to happen. Let's be real here. It's my luck. Oh my god, I cannot believe I did that. Oh. Well, I did it, so. Sainz and Leclerc both in Q3 Prage. Yep. I'm deleting my account if that happens. You're putting so much trust in Ferrari, not messing this up. Nearly. Shh. Fraser, don't do this. I know you're... Okay, so KM talked me into this. Fraser is gonna jinx it. That's just how this goes. That's just how this goes. This went from no panic to mega panic. Oh, and now I'm gonna be sitting there swearing when Hamilton wins for no reason. I also sold Hamilton. Let that be known. If Hamilton wins, I'm actually furious. But that's just... I mean, I've been selling the winner like 3 times this season, so... My god. Oh my god. He did have a moment. Oh. Nice start for Charles. Yep. Yikes. That was way too close. Oh, that gave me a heart attack. Please. Please, Sainz, be merciful. No, Leclerc's not in the wall. You're lying. I don't believe you. I'm seeing what's happening here. Leclerc is not in the wall. I see things, okay? I have 2 streams up. I have both this and this. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. 30 seconds behind? Really? Well, there's a delay on chat as well, so maybe it's not that bad. Checo's slower than the Haas's. which is crazy. 1 second behind Ferrari. You love to see it. Ferrari, Ferrari, Ferrari. I feel like a bright red t-shirt should be easy to find, but I just cannot find it for the life of me. Well, that's okay. See, I just tossed out all my clothes looking for the Ferrari merch. Couldn't find it. Yeah. Weren't you wearing a Ferrari shirt recently? Yeah, I have two. I have two Ferrari shirts. One red one and a black one, but I can't find either. I mean, the black one is hard to find because I have a lot of black shirts, but I can't find the red one. I must have left it somewhere. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, 10 minutes in Norris fastest. I wouldn't mind a Norris Leclerc 1-2. That would be pretty sick, even if I'm running Piastri over Leclerc. Not gonna lie, Cole is really impressive. He looks pretty good. Albon 5th. The thing is, like, Ferrari can't just be better than Mercedes. They need to be better by 10 points. Which, like, if Ferrari is better in qualifying and also better in the race, right? I feel like it's more likely to be a 15-point difference than a 1-point difference, you know? But I guess it depends. Let's look at... I'm really a Mercedes hater this weekend. Let's see. I really want Mercedes to do poorly now. Sainz turns 30 tomorrow. He has to do something. Fair. Colapinto just 0.2 behind Albon. Quite good. Yep. Yep. Not bad. Alonso ahead of Haas and Williams. I'm really curious to see the times for Hamilton, Russell, and Sainz. Russell 4th, ahead of Piastri, behind Leclerc. Hamilton slower. I mean, Hamilton is worse in qualifying. That's just a fact. Why are you hating on the Mercs? Because I sold all their drivers, all their assets. I sold Hamilton and Mercedes this weekend for Norris and Ferrari. So I'm a Mercedes hater now. Sainz fastest. Ooh, fastest in sector 1. You love to see it. I think the tarmac temperature is worse for Mercedes now. Yes. That is also one reason why I was considering Ferrari at all, like, yesterday. But then, like, okay, listen. I'm gonna calm myself down a bit by saying two things. One, first thing is that if Mercedes had not been 1-2ing in FP3, I would have done the -10 without panic. I was pretty set on doing the -10 to bring Ferrari in yesterday after FP1 and 2. But that 1-2 in free practice 3 made me reconsider if it was actually worth it, because Mercedes didn't look like off the pace. So, yeah. Copium. Yeah. Copium indeed. Alright, 6 minutes remaining of FP1. What do I want here? I mean, I wouldn't mind Colapinto being 20th. So he can overtake some Saubers. Like, that would actually be good for fantasy. But also, Checo's 19th. Lol. Classic. Isn't there usually like big lines of people, of drivers trying to set laps in Monza in Q1? I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. It's very weird to not have 5 drivers to care about. I just realized that. Because every race I'm like, oh, I have 3 C-tier drivers that I want. I want like, I want Gasly to be P20, and then I want Albon to be P8, then I want Hulkenberg to be P9. But now I only have 2 C-tier drivers to care about. Show is so useless. He's been really poor this season. Really, really poor. I don't know what happened to his form. Like, I was actually rating Show like last year. He was taking the fight to Bottas, wasn't losing quali to Bottas, who's famously good in qualifying. But he's just been really bad. Here comes Albon, probably his last lap. Does his lap early. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Albon in Q3 and Colapinto out in, like, behind Show. But that's never gonna happen. Colapinto just 2,000s behind Rick to be in 16th. Albon's gonna catch Checo on track, but it's on a straight, so it shouldn't be an issue. There you go. Yeah, Checo's already out. Oh, here they come. Oh, Lord, they coming. Do you think Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Piastri will do another lap? Big Q, yeah, big Q incoming. Do we think the top 7 are going to try again? Piastri's going out. Russell's going out. Albon, better. Perez. No, Perez is starting his lap. Oh, wait. Alpines. Ferrari, the Mercedes are out. I think Norris and Ferrari and Verstappen are chilling. The top 4 are chilling. No, Verstappen's going out. I'm surprised. Oh my god. Oh my god. Was that Norris? Oh, it's Piastri. Unsafe release. Yeah, Oscar unsafe release. Yeah, that looked awful. I just saw the replay of that. But that's usually not... Unsafe release in qualifying is usually not a penalty. It's usually a fine or something. Reprimand or a fine. Checo's only 9th. That's not good. Could Checo be out? I think Checo could be out in Q1, guys. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. How does he still have a seat? I don't know, man. He there's no way he has a seat next year. Oh, Colapinto in the gravel. Hamilton, my seat's running very hot. Maybe it was good I sold him. Colapinto's definitely out in Q1 though, which is good. I like Colapinto out in Q1 better than him being like 13th. I really hope Bottas and Show beat him now. No, Colapinto's not making Q2. He put that in the gravel hard, big time. Oh, Magnussen running wide. Not improving. Oh my god. Cool, yeah, yellow flag. Magnussen in the gravel. No one's improving. Checo's so lucky, man. But no one's improving. There's just too much of a queue, right? Bottas, like, no one's improved. No one's allowed to set times. So it's just staying like this, which is really boring. Both Alpines through. That's I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Sonoda kicking Stroll out. Ricardo kicking Sonoda out. Piastri beating Sainz, but doesn't really matter. Here comes Verstappen. Oh, Max Verstappen slowed down to not show the pace. That's interesting. Max is just always there, man. Nico just in. Nice strategy from Haas. True. Classic Haas. Classic Magnussen just messing up so no one else can get through. That's so funny. Oh my god. Classic Haas. Alright, so Colapinto's behind everyone, but okay, so I was expecting Colapinto to be in 18th. That's literally what I said before this. Ahead of the Haas. No, not the ahead of the Saubers. I would prefer him to be 20th. Let's see if he can overtake anyone tomorrow. Am I correct to say Piastri can only get a fine for release, or can I get a penalty? I don't remember them giving out grid penalties for unsafe releases in qualifying, so I think he's fine. Yeah, I'll stick around for a bit. Colapinto may overtake the Racing Bulls, maybe. It's usually just a fine. Yeah, it's usually just a fine. All right, so out in Q1 then is Tsunoda, Stroll, Colapinto, Bottas, and Show. No real surprises there. I think Checo should count himself very lucky there. Let's see Colapinto's replay. Oh, he just touched the gravel there. Touched the grass there, so he got a bad corner. But it was actually not that bad. Slight mistake there, touching the grass, meaning he went too far to touch the gravel. Yes, I agree. I would have much rather he be out in Q1 than go out in Q2. Preferably he would have been lost. That would have been better, because he will definitely overtake the Saubers. I mean, the Saubers are gonna be lost. That's just a fact. for a DNF. Okay, Don. Okay. See, can we just let me have something? Can we just let me have something? I need Albon into Q3. Yeah, Albon will be like 9th. We're fine. Start of Q2 will be delayed. Well, then I will visit the bathroom once more, and I'll be back once Q2 starts. So don't go anywhere. All right. Have we started yet? No, we have not. Sick. Well, I guess we're just waiting. We'll grab a quick snack. Anyone still here? Yeah, we have some. Thank you for sticking around. Honestly, the true people are the ones staying for the watch along. But I mean, the drop off is kind of mental. It's kind of weird because we're getting some behind the scenes view here while I eat a quick bar, waiting for Q2 to start. Right, when approached by advertisers, and I've only ever said yes to one, if you guys recall, but I get asked by more people than that, but most of them is just scams, right? They're looking for like, oh, what's your average viewer count, right? How many people watch you, for a deadline stream? But I can't really take an average because the average before the deadline is, a good solid 250 people, and then the average after is like 30. So I don't really know how to evaluate, like, because saying my average viewer throughout the stream is like 80 sounds good, but it's way more than that beforehand, and then everyone just leaves when QUALI starts. So it's difficult to evaluate how much a sponsorship would be worth. Yeah, average stream peaks. That's what I've been saying too. $6:29 local time. That's in a minute. Okay. Sick. I'm just gonna mute my mic while I'm chewing. Nothing's happening anyway. My finishing move in the WWE would be the panic. No. Wait. What would it be? Oh, there's a tip of the week joke you can do there. There's definitely a tip of the week joke you can do there. It's not family friendly though. I'd stand up on the ropes, Hulk Hogan mustache, and get the entire crowd to just like scream tip of the week, and then I'd jump down. Yeah. Land on them. No, I'd tip them, I don't know. Cringe them is exhibition. I would be good at that. Alright, snack time done. Let's look at Q2. It's gonna be what? Gasly, Ocon, Ricardo, Magnussen, Alonso out probably. Albon, Hulkenberg, 9th, 10th. That's my guess. Don't really care about Q2 to be honest, unless something crazy happens and like Hamilton or Checo's out. Leclerc. I mean, Ferrari look fast. Ferrari look fast. I should tweet about what I did. I should tweet about what I did. Hold on, I'll just go on to... Hamilton, Gasly, and Mercedes out for Norris, Colapinto, and Ferrari. -10. That final -10 to get Ferrari in over might come back to bite me, but no one remembers a coward. Certified Mercedes hater this weekend. F1 Fantasy. And paste. There we go. Boom. Let's share the stream in case someone want to watch me rage when Hamilton takes pole. Watch me rage when Hamilton takes pole. When Russell. Actually, when Hamilton takes pole here. And then some little cheeky arrows. And boom. Stream link. Boom. FCGRKM1 just said, if you keep inactive, you won't get a penalty. F1 fantasy support just resolve the issue. That's crazy. That's really funny. This is really funny that they responded to this. Yes, I'm probably running, unless they change the rules somehow, I'm probably not selling Sargeant. I think inactive Sargeant is better than Colapinto, probably. Especially if Colapinto increases in price in this race. So I'd rather sell Colapinto to like a Hulkenberg if I have the money for that upgrade than get rid of Sargeant. I'm very likely to run Sargeant for the rest of the year. The long as Ferrari don't mess up strategy. Norris, Speedy, Gonzalez. Yep. Imagine if I got my selection right for the first time this year. That'd be crazy. -20 hit from Bearded Beast. That's cool. Boom. Alright, let's see. Sainz fastest in sector 1. Leclerc also fast. Not as fast though. Hamilton's top, but might be on fresh tires. Can I just point out that the 5 I said would be eliminated are bottom 5 right now. Hulk, Albon, 9-10. Sheesh. We'll see if I'm right. Hamilton P1. Oh, don't do this to me, man. It's Q2. It's Q2. What? Leclerc? Only 7th? Yeah, he made a mistake. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, no. Please, God. Not like this. Dude, if Hamilton's on pole, it's actually so tragic. No, it's fine. If Hamilton's on pole, he's going to lose it in the race. It's because you picked Ferrari, you did this. Oh. I really, 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 really don't want Hamilton to be on pole. Wait, what did Leclerc say? Understeering. Uh-oh. The Swedish commentators just said that the top 7 are still top 7. Paris is 8th, and that is as expected. That's so funny. It's so true as well. Everyone's within 3/10, and then you have Checo. The same distance that Leclerc is from pole is Leclerc down to Paris. Hulk is super close to Paris. Dude, Checo can definitely be eliminated in Q1. In Q2. What a lap from Hamilton. I mean, we need Norris on pole because he's going to lose positions in the start. So if Norris is like P3, he's not winning, right? Because he's going to drop down to like P6 in the start, and then he's not going to be able to get back. So we kind of need Norris to be on pole for a massive haul again. Alright, all the suspects out on track. Actually, Albon's not out. I'm actually surprised like Piastri and Verstappen are out. Surely no one, like, top 7 should be fine. Checo must be bringing so much money, Mexican money to Red Bull. Red Bull don't need money. That's the thing though, like, how else is he still there? I don't know. Red Bull do not need cash. They're fine. But surely Checo's gone in the like at the end of the season. Surely. The reason I think because Liam Lawson is definitely in a car come February. So Liam Lawson's either in Racing Bulls or in Red Bull. Yuki's already signed. So either Checo or Ricardo's gone. One of them's gone. If I were Red Bull, I would remove Checo and put Liam Lawson in there. But then again, why would you keep Ricardo then? I guess you give Ricardo 1 year in Red Bull and see if he can match Verstappen. Yeah, I think if you're Red Bull, you kick Checo. Hulkenberg fastest in Sector 1. The GOAT? The GOAT? It's gonna be so sad seeing Nico in a Sauber next year. The GOAT? Hulkenberg is actually not slow. He's only he's like at Verstappen pace. Checo improving, probably safe then. If Checo boomed this lap, he could have been out, but I think he's fine. Hulkenberg goes. Oh, that was disappointing. Bad final sector, still 9th. Slight improvement in time, but not enough to climb any positions. Checo improves. Improves to still P8, but improves by 0.2. Max goes second. Ricardo. Don't knock down Albon. Ricardo's 11th. He's out. No, Albon's not in yet. Albon's lost. Love to see it. Actually, no, Alonso's behind. Alright, so it's Ocon, Alonso, or Albon in P10. Hulkenberg could get kicked, I suppose. If two. Now Ocon's slow in sector 2. Albon goes 9th, ahead of Hulkenberg. You love to see it. You love to see it. Ricardo's done for sure. Alonso, 11th. Ooh. 1/100th away from Hulkenberg. And Ocon does not improve. Alright, that's GGG. The exact 5 I said would be eliminated are eliminated. The exact 10 I said would go through are through. Classic. My wheel knowledge is just unparalleled. Time's not really improving. I mean, they improved, but they didn't really jump in positions. All right. Let's see what's happening in the Premier League. Let's see. Watkins assists for owners who kept faith. Ipswich scored. Fulham scored. Nottingham Wolves is 1-1. Robinson assist for Fulham. That's good for my fantasy team. My FPL team. Apparently, Muniz missed another big chance. That's tragic, considering I own him. Hulk and Alex in Q3? Yup. The GOATs. Mbuemo scored. Brentford's 1-0 up. I should have bought Mbuemo in fantasy. Ooh, Arsenal Brighton was 1-1. Eesh. That's crazy. David Raya got a 94th minute yellow card to get a solid 1-pointer in fantasy. He got 2 points there. He got save points. Unlucky. That's okay though. Assist for Minte on my bench. Everton Bournemouth is 0-0 at halftime. I would like that to continue being 0-0, considering I have Mikolenko in my team. I think Norris is favorite now. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Ever tempted to do race watch along? I mean, yes, I've been tempted, but like, it would require me to sit in front of my computer watching the race. So if there's some time where I don't have anything else planned, then yes. But my family's super interested in Formula 1. My girlfriend literally just got sucked into the Formula 1 hole, so she's also obsessed now. So I usually watch the race with people in real life. I mean, I really enjoy the QUALI watch-alongs and the deadline streams, so I don't want to stop with them at any time in the future. You know, I want to do as many QUALI watch-alongs and QUALI stuff as I can. And then also, I will be doing sprint QUALI watch-alongs for the sprint qualifyings. That's on Fridays. For the 3 races coming up, because that's so important for the, you know, what selection we then do on Saturday. Live in the middle of nowhere, so it's just me watching it. Nice. I tried to get my missus into it, but she isn't. My girlfriend said the same thing in May. She watched the Monaco race with us and was super bored. And then she watched Drive to Survive, and now she's like asking me when the next race is. So I'm winning. I mean, I don't live in the middle of nowhere, but I live alone, so I could, if I don't have anything else planned, I'll probably just throw it up if I'm just chilling watching the race. But then again, I enjoy being high energy on stream, which is like I enjoy the panic of the deadline. So I'm just chilling now. I haven't watched Drive to Survive. I feel like you're the only one. I feel like every Formula 1 fan has watched Drive to Survive. Like, Drive to Survive has its memes, but it's, yeah, clearly has the last bit of Ferrari transfer. Okay, listen. I just enjoy the chaos, and that was good. That was good chaos. But I think it wasn't that bad of an idea. I wouldn't have done it if it was completely unreasonable. But it might come back to bite me. That's true. But yeah, I mean, even though there are memes about Drive to Survive and, you know, the later seasons not being as good and them stating stuff that's super obvious, like, if you're P1, that means you have all other cars behind you. And that's good, because you need to have all other cars behind you to win the race. Right? Yes, there are stuff like that, but there are also great moments, and it does get the casual fan into Formula 1. Like, I've always been a fan of Formula 1, and I've always kept up with it. But before Drive to Survive, I did not watch every race. I watched some races, but it was not like in my calendar. There was not something I planned my life around. I just watched it if, oh, it was on. Oh, there's Formula 1 today. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I have nothing else to do. I'll watch it. And then Drive to Survive came out, and I became a super fan. So I think especially for those who are casual fans, it really sucked them into it and made them hardcore fans. We're family. True. I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Do we think Hamilton's getting pole? Like, there's no way he actually gets pole, right? There's no way. I'll always be a Williams fan, but it's not the same now. It's not family owned. Well, I mean, I'm running triple Williams, so you know I'm the biggest Williams fan here. I don't think I've ever had triple Williams in my team before. Oh wait, was there a red card in the Arsenal-Brighton game? There was. Rice got sent off. Interesting. Interesting. I feel a red flag incoming. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. So we definitely want Albon 9th and Hulkenberg 10th. That extra point. Oh, Max Verstappen again impeded by a Ferrari. I think it's gonna be Norris P1. I'm wondering what Leclerc's doing. Leclerc looked like a pole contender until he started complaining about oversteering. Was it over or understeering? I can't remember what he said. Under, okay. Yeah, so maybe Leclerc is not pole contender, which is unlucky. I kind of need my McLaren boys to seal it out. I just want Leclerc and Sainz to be ahead of Hamilton and Russell, and I'm happy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. Piastri fastest, Norris fastest in Sector 1. You love to see it. Sainz fastest. Nice, let's go Sainz. Actually, I don't have Leclerc. There's a lot of people who bought in Leclerc. Not that many people have Sainz. I wouldn't mind a Carlos Sainz pull. Piastri's fast in Sector 2. Norris not as fast in Sector 2. Sainz, yeah, the Ferraris do drop a bit in the second sector. That's okay. Piastri fast in Sector 3. 1943. Lando faster, 1940. 300s faster. Let's see Sainz. Sainz third. Okay, 19.7. 3/10 behind the McLarens. Verstappen slower than Checo. Huh? What? I'm gonna use my new emote for that. Oh no, that's not ideal. I have this. Boom. Mercedes, Russell and Hamilton are third, fourth. ahead of Sainz and Leclerc in 5th, 6th.
Oh, why?
Oh, why? What did I do to deserve this? Why? McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick on this. I mean, at least Verstappen's struggling, so you win some, you lose some. Imagine if Checo out qualifies Max for the first time of the season. Yikes. Okay, well, at least it's looking like the McLarens are the fastest, which is good. Now I just need the Ferrari to be better than Mercedes. Red Bull owners not so happy. I guess there's no one who owns Red Bull that's not active. There are only inactive teams owning Red Bull, I am sure of it. I can't believe... How did this happen to Red Bull? How are they 4th fastest? Imagine if I came up to you at the start of the season in Bahrain, after Max and Checo got the 1-2 in Bahrain, and I told you that by Monza, Red Bull will be the 4th fastest car. You would slap me in the face and call me a liar. That is crazy. You have to be sick to enjoy this Red Bull downfall. Alright. Hulkenberg faster than Albon. Unlucky. It's by 4/10 as well, so it was not really close. Oh my, okay, no, the stream's lagging. If at the beginning of the season you would tell me, you told me I'd be running triple millers, I'd also slap you in the face. True. That is super true. But here we are. It's a funny world sometimes. It is a funny world sometimes. I still really want to do the F1 Manager streams. I noticed it because I now see that my Steam notifications are showing. But I do really wanna do some F1 Manager 24 streams. I was gonna do it in August, but I've just been so busy at work. But I have nothing in September. So I might do it if I'm bored. I don't know if it would be popular. If you do F1 Manager, please don't put us in a shed. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Is that something from the game? I have done F1 Manager very good. I played the 2022 version, it was fine. Are we really expecting this order to stick? No way. I don't want it to stick. Oof. I mean, I'm making my own team. That's for sure. If I'm doing F1 manager, I'm doing the make your own team mode for sure. We're doing IKEA racing. Build your own car type vibe. I see. Is anyone improving here? Verstappen is for Checo's first on track, right? And yeah, Checo's first on track, then Verstappen, then Hulk, then Albon. Oh, Checo's in the gravel. Verstappen's not improving. Verstappen's not improving. Oh. Oof. Checo helping Max. Does that help? What? Only improves ahead of Checo. Wow. Sainz fastest in sector 1. Come on! Come on! Red Bull in the mud, in the mud. Red Bull in the mud. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Red Bull in the mud, in the mud. Come on. Come on, please. Please. Please, Sainz, come on. Norris. Norris. Improves. Okay, improves. Okay, Norris pole. We love that. We love that. No one beats that. Piastri's not improving. Piastri did not improve. We're fine. Okay, Sainz. Come on. Come on. Yes. Okay. Don't you dare, Mercedes. Don't you dare. Leclerc goes faster. Ooh. Okay. All right. Hamilton, not better in sector 1. Russell, not better in sector 2. Come on. Come on. Oh, Russell's punching a hole in the air for Hamilton. Hamilton's definitely going to outqualify the Mercedes. The Ferraris. Hamilton's so fast. No! Hamilton didn't improve. I'm surprised Hamilton didn't improve more, considering Russell was literally punching a hole in the air for him. Russell's 3rd, Hamilton's 6th. Leclerc 4th, Sainz 5th. So, I mean, they're literally on the same points right now, but my -10 for Ferrari doesn't look fantastic unless Leclerc can overtake Russell. Oof. That's pretty good. I mean, I will take it. It's better than a 3rd, 4th for Mercedes, and at least Hamilton, who I sold, I never had Russell, so it could have been so much worse. But they're literally on the exact same points right now, and I have a -10. So I'm literally just flat out -10 points right now. We pray that they can overtake Russell tomorrow. We need Leclerc to take that P3 tomorrow, and it could end up being worth it. Albon, importantly, overtook Hülkenberg for P9 though. That's a win. We know Ferrari is great on race pace. Yes, and I'm hoping Mercedes' car catches on fire because of the high heat, and they have to DNF. All right, Norris pole, fantastic. The -10 for Ferrari in, not amazing. Do I see anything that's final fixable? No. Am I ever using the final fix chip this season? Nothing looks final fixable here. Lando apologies for a rubbish lap. I mean, he's just copying my Verstappen. It's so funny. Alright. Great stream, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around for so long. Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around for so long. We are definitely uploading a video on Monday, probably. I really, really want to get it out on Monday. The transfer plans for Azerbaijan and sort of rundown of this race in Monza. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see me rage live during the... I'll be tweeting throughout Monza, throughout the race tomorrow, so you can drop a follow on Twitter. I refuse to call it by the other name. Cheers for sticking around, the 30 of you still here. Final Face is overrated unless something crazy happens. True. Alright, I'm gonna be heading out. I have things to do, places to be. It already got delayed quite a bit, so thank you so much. I'll see you in content next week, and the deadline stream will for sure be back in Azerbaijan. We'll see if it will be back for Singapore. I'm not sure yet. And we'll see if I'd make something with the F1 Manager, with the F1 Manager game. It's possible. I've wanted to play it anyway, and if I'm playing it, I might as well stream it. If so, that would be something that were to happen next week. And if so, I will announce that on Twitter and on Discord, and on the YouTube channel as well. So look out for that. It's not guaranteed, but it might happen. So I'm going to end stream now. Thank you so much for sticking around. Let's go Lando Norris. Let's go, hopefully, Ferrari tomorrow to take that third place. Verstappen in the mud. All right. I'll see you around. Bye.